Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the anniversary podcast of Threading and Dreading.
Yay!
Who's special?
Thanks for still listening to us, apparently.
For 1 year, thank you guys. It's been a very weird journey for the last year. But yeah, thanks for sticking with us.
We expect the next year to be just as weird, if not weirder.
Just as racist.
I'm practicing magic.
So we're going to go around and introduce everyone real quick. To my right, we have...
The girl eating the Triscuits.
The
that
greatest code name ever. I like that name.
Dude. Triscuits are deliciousness.
Goddess of Gore, if you want to be official.
We're bouncing mics back and forth real quick. We apologize if you're getting some interference on that, but yep, sorry, we're a little short on mics, but hopefully we'll be able to get through this very well. And how you doing, Kim?
I'm good. Sorry, that sounded weird.
It's okay.
I'm good. I'm not being forced to say this.
I am not a robot. I promise.
I'm good. Is that okay, Mike?
Mike, is that all right? Is that all right? Mike, is that all right? Did I say that right? I'm okay.
And
scripted.
Across from her, we have
3-star Sapphire.
How you doing, ma'am?
Doing good.
You're a little late because you had to get your McFlurry.
Dude, all right. There's not been a line there. I was on time, even slated to be like early. I get there, I'm like, there's like 8 cars ahead of me. WTF? Like, where are these people? Why do all these people want McDonald's today? They never want McDonald's when I go there.
Fair enough. Well, good to have you back.
Yum.
And next, yum. And next to her, we have
The Wonder Twins.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Good.
Now that you finally got your
timing.
Your timing down.
Okay. It was
There were
still
like
up.
12 takes, guys.
And even then, it wasn't perfect.
It wasn't. And, and actually, that's all the time we have.
Yep.
So thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, that's it.
9 o'clock. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you guys been?
I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I've been working a lot and vacaying a lot.
Yeah.
Mostly with you. But, yeah, doing well. Vacaying? Not BKing.
Vacating.
Vacaying.
The decaying, donkey punching.
Donkey punching. I do a lot of donkey punching with your boyfriend. And Karen, how are you?
I'm good. I've been doing all right. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Good. Glad to hear.
So, I don't know if you guys are, like, all up on Netflix, but, like, last week, they put Animorphs on there.
They did.
And I watched that whole shit in 2 days.
And there's like 20 hours worth of it.
No, dude. Well, yeah, probably about. Like, legitimately. But that sounds like a lot. But they have 1 full season and then 7 episodes. So I don't know if you guys read the books, but, like, in the books, they do this big realization about 15 or 20 books in that one of the characters is actually half alien and that, like, the guy who gave them their powers is his dad and shit. That's where they end the show. Because they were like, oh, we ran out of funding and people aren't watching this shit. And I was like, no, I need to know more. It was, like, really dramatic, and then it was done.
Real nice.
Oh,
Kind of like how Korra's going right now.
Korra is not
What?
sad.
No, I said Korra.
What's Korra?
Legend of Korra.
Korra, what are you talking about?
You haven't heard?
No, what?
Nickelodeon has canceled Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra was only supposed to have 3 seasons.
But they've cut off, like, the last 6 episodes.
Why?
They're not airing them.
Since when?
Because this was announced just, like, last week. Because apparently the ratings are so bad, they're going to give it to some other slot.
Look, this is the best season yet.
And yet, for some reason, they're going to cut it, like, 6 episodes short.
I don't believe you. I'm Googling this.
I'm dead serious.
If I find out you're lying to me, we're no longer friends. If I find out you're telling the truth, we're
Now,
going to be even less friends.
they're still going to be aired in some format. You have to see them on Hulu, on Netflix or something. But it's not going to be on Nickelodeon.
But can you just stop talking before I punch you in the face?
Why? Because I'm telling the truth?
Because you're telling Paul something he doesn't want to hear.
Well, I'm sorry.
That'd be like telling him that there's going to be no more Avengers movies or no more Avengers comics.
No more Marvel movies.
Marvel movies or comics and all that jazz.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, there's always bugs in this place. I apologize. Actually, before we get into any of the movie news, I did want to say real
Legend
quick.
of Korra Season 3 not canceled.
I didn't say it was canceled. I said that.
Explains the show not cancellation.
No, I didn't say it was canceled. I said they're removing it from Nickelodeon. Okay. As Karen spazzes out in the corner.
Continue with what you're doing.
Okay.
There's a bug.
There is a
There,
bug.
I know there's a bug. I apologize.
It's
A little
somewhere.
fruit fly or something going
Yeah.
around. But
It's strange because there's no fruit in this house.
I
Mike
am
doesn't
right
eat
here.
fruit.
uh,
God,
But
that
you
is-
come and go.
What? Oh, air high five. Contact high five. Yeah. What? Hit it and quit it, bitches.
I do want to say real quick that Kim and I are actually drinking a brew that I was given to me on my last birthday, which is the Game of Thrones Fire and Blood Brew, which was given to me by my sister's boyfriend, Clark. So thank you, Clark. And I have not tried this yet. Kim, what do
We
you
killed
think?
him
I
once.
haven't tried it yet either.
Oh, okay.
We
Well,
did.
we're going to give it a quick try.
Didn't we kill you too?
Yes. For those of you who don't know, we killed Clark once with a broken bottle.
Yeah.
I was also killed that day by a machete.
I like it.
I actually
pretty
think
good.
we almost
Yeah.
hurt Mike with the bottle too.
It's smooth. It's
Follow through almost got.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it wasn't
I
Mike.
think-
It was Ben. I think almost got stabbed with the
I don't know.
broken
Somebody
bottle.
almost got stabbed with an
Yeah.
actual broken bottle that we used
no.
for a
You know
prop.
what? I remember the outtake. I was recording Clark lunging over Davian. And
Was
like,
that what it was?
Yeah, and when he followed through, he almost stabbed me in the face
It
with
was
the
just a
bottle.
debacle. It made a really good scene, very lifelike.
Right.
I think Mike would be cooler if he was stabbed in the face with a bottle.
Big scar,
He'd have a scar.
like Tyrion, big old
Like-
scar across my face.
Awesome.
Wear
Or he
an
could
eye
be like
patch.
he could be like Tyrion in the book and not have a nose.
He doesn't have a nose in the book?
He lost his in the book. He doesn't get scarred. He loses his nose.
Really?
Yeah, but obviously they ain't gonna CGI that shit every
Wow.
fucking episode.
Damn,
They got
that's
dragons to
harsh. Damn, that sucks.
And he's
for
not
him.
as good looking. Like in the book, they call him a monster because he is fucking. And I've never read the books, but he's deformed.
Wow.
I know people.
Wow.
I've never read the book. But, in the books,
but I
and
know.
This is what it says.
I know what happens. Goddamn Metatron, I know everything.
But what's everyone else drinking? The Wonder Twins have Strongbow, I believe.
Yeah, Mike got me Strongbow for my birthday.
Happy
So
birthday.
thank you. And so I gave a bottle to Karen
Yeah.
because I was introduced to it while we were down at the beach
Yep.
just a couple weeks ago. My boyfriend's one of my boyfriend's best friends was drinking it, we got it to go and drink with him, and I enjoyed it. And I already knew that Karen liked it, so we went out to that British John that night, that English
Go
restaurant.
Brit.
Go Brit.
Yeah.
And we all, the four of us, because Robin got one too, didn't he?
No, not that night, but then we had it the night before, the night after.
The night
we
after.
We had a lot of Strongbow
Yeah.
that weekend.
No, but I like Strongbow.
Yeah.
It's a not a very sweet cider, but it's pretty good.
good.
Well,
I
so
like
far it's the only cider that I've ever liked, because
Right, and
I
you
mean,
have the honey apple, right?
the honey apple, and I actually and I do like this, but I actually like the original better.
yeah.
It's less beer like. Like the reason I don't like beer, I mean I don't drink enough of it and I don't like it, but it all tastes the same to me. Cider also tastes like beer to me because as a non-beer drinker, it all fucking tastes like yuck. Strongbow, the apple and the honey and apple has a slight beer taste. To me, but the
sorry.
original doesn't. No, it's fine. It's still
Okay.
delicious.
Yeah.
And it has a really cool symbol.
He's not really complaining.
It has little Archer dude.
Yeah.
I love
No,
Strongbow.
I'm glad you like it. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
And Allison finishes drinking her McFlurry.
It was deliciousness.
But anyway, if there's nothing else to bring up, we are going to get right into the news because, as you know, this past weekend was Comic-Con. So we have a lot to get
Specifically,
through.
San Diego Comic.
San Diego Comic-Con. Yes, I'm sorry. There are many
Which is
Comic-Cons. But
Big
Was it-
shit.
San Diego was the first one, right?
it was the first huge
the
one.
biggest
Yes.
one,
And that's why a
yeah.
lot of people just call it Comic-Con because
Right,
it
yeah.
is considered like,
Like
the one. Yes.
Yeah.
but
Well, the one Comic-Con to rule them all.
Yes.
the one Comic Con to bind them.
9 Wizard Worlds doomed to die.
The one Comic Con to end the darkness. But you said that NYC is the big one on the East Coast.
Yes.
right?
Yes, it is.
And we're planning on going.
Yeah,
in
and
October.
that's in late October, early November, somewhere in
Karen,
there.
you going with us to that?
We don't know yet. Depends.
Yeah, I would love to go to New York Comic Con.
You can go with us. Would he even like Comic Con?
Yeah.
What
we
is-
would like it.
Robin will go as Robin.
He has the costume.
He has it. He has it.
Yeah, he
I don't
does.
doubt that.
Who was
I was
at the
saying that,
Halloween? Did you see it? You weren't there for that Halloween?
Oh,
guess
he
not.
was protruding quite largely.
Yes.
Oh, you weren't at the beach. I made this really racist comment about Asians and small penises. And Karen was like,
I turned
obviously
around.
you've never been with an Asian because you are mistaken. And I was like, damn. And even
Put
Steve was
down.
like, you might want to go fucking Asian. Like, what are you missing? And I was like, I don't know.
Real nice. So anyway, so we're going to get on to really what are the big things from Comic-Con. There's obviously a lot to go through, but we're going to address the big topics that are basically circulating right now. First one being, of course, is that there was a panel for Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and the first reveal was the first image of Wonder Woman. Gail, what's her name? Gail
Gadot.
Gadot. Yeah, as Wonder Woman. So I don't have the
Looks
image on me.
Really good.
I do like her look.
But do
I
you know what people have been comparing her to?
Xena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new Xena.
Now, I understand the comparison, but to be fair, the original Xena was based off an alternate reality of Wonder Woman.
Was
so,
it?
Yes. So it's kind of like who's copying who here.
I don't really care because it's DC.
Full cycle.
Yeah, it's come full cycle. So all these people bitching, oh, it's just Xena, go fuck yourselves. Because Xena was really based off Wonder Woman. So, whatever.
It was
and
lesbian
don't
Wonder
say
Woman.
it's based off Greek mythology. No, fuck you. That design was based off Wonder Woman. So, I like her representation. Now, there has been one criticism of her outfit in that her boots are high heels. Because of who's directing it, Zack Snyder, they are critical of it. Because both Allison and Kim have pointed this out before. In Zack Snyder films, he will transition from high heels to flat shoes back to high heels.
Yeah, just make them flats.
Yeah, and apparently he's doing the same thing with this. Where Wonder Woman is going to be fighting most of the time in high heels, but when it cuts to an action scene, they won't be high heels anymore.
Yep. And you notice those
And Karen has a
things.
very puzzled look on her face. What's up?
They're magic
No.
boots.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure how that would work.
Well, let me
Well,
give you an
see,
example.
they take off the heels because it's safer to do it in the flats.
Yeah.
But
so
the
why don't
shots
they just
they show, you can tell they're flats. And then it cuts back,
then
and they're like stilettos.
why
Yeah.
don't they have her in flats?
Because they need
That
to
would
have
be
her like
easier.
have sex appeal. That's the only reason they do it in the other films. In Watchmen, Silk Spectre was in high heels, and in
For a while.
Sucker Punch, all the girls had high heels except when they were fighting. It's something I don't notice anymore, but Allison picks up on it all the damn time in Zack Snyder films.
Because
I think
Mike's
there
watching
should
the
be,
high heels.
I think
I'm
there
watching
should-
the
I think there should be a movie with, superhero men in
in
high
high
heels.
heels.
I
Well,
mean,
that's a funny alternate of the Avengers because if you look at the
Superhero
original
drag
poster,
queens.
only Black Widow had like her back turned, showing off her
Oh,
ass,
yeah,
and then someone
yeah.
did that where all the Avengers were
Yeah.
turned, showing off their butts,
Except for
Yeah.
her.
except for her.
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
was good.
yeah. that makes-
yeah.
But no, I'm okay with her design, and
I like
she's
it.
obviously becoming more of the build of Wonder Woman. She looks
Yeah.
like it in there, and you don't know if it's been photoshopped, what they've done to that picture, and there's been a lot of color corrections to make it look like she's more Wonder Woman, but we don't know what the final look is going to be, but
Right.
it looks okay right now. I think it looks good. And in tandem with that story, we also have the leaked trailer for Batman vs. Superman, which we can't talk about too much because all the footage we've seen has someone's head in the way or it's real shaky cam. It's hard to tell what's actually going on.
I mean, it looks really cool.
Oh, it does.
I mean, you see what looks like the armored up Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Right.
Hot wires.
The bat signal.
The bat signal that has like the Dark Knight Returns symbol, not the Dark Knight that we're used to. Not the Chris Nolan Dark Knight, but the actual Dark Knight with the big fat bat that really has very few and very subtle lines coming off of it.
Right.
So if you don't know to look for a bat, you really probably will just see a
big-
rectangle.
Yeah.
And then he looks up to the sky, and his eyes are all lit up, and you see Cal floating in the air, and his eyes are all red. And then the guy filming it, screams. And I watched it twice because I thought that was...
In the
excuse me,
trailer.
I thought that was Superman screaming. And then there's just this dramatic stare-off, and then
That's it.
that's it.
And here's what I said. The film is still 2 years away. This footage is probably not even going to be in the final film.
Oh, no.
This is just something they shot really quick to show at Comic-Con.
Yeah. Right.
But it is showing us a few things. One, it shows us the first overall design for what Ben Affleck will look like, at least at one point.
One of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because his original suit was supposed to be mostly cloth.
Well, if you remember in The Dark Knight Returns, his original suit in the beginning is mostly cloth.
Right. But then he gets this kind of exoskeleton going, which is what you see in this.
Right.
Which it looks pretty close to The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Now, you can't tell what what Superman looks like for the most part. He's pretty dark, except for his eyes. But I'm assuming his design's pretty much going to be the same.
I mean, they've revealed his design.
Yeah, but it's pretty much the same design from Man of Steel.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to read into this leaked trailer, but it looks like, of course, that they're going for the very, very dark tone.
Which is good.
Which, is great, but, they said the same thing about Man of Steel, and that's still really divided fans.
Yeah.
I know you liked it.
I actually
have
did.
very mixed feelings about it.
I did not like it.
Yeah, Karen did not like it. Allison, did you see it?
No.
Okay, well, the internet's going to kill her today.
Eh.
I don't know if you listened to the last podcast. We had decided the internet was going to kill us after the last podcast.
Yes.
Ooh,
Because
I wasn't here for that one.
no, it was
No,
basically
it was pretty bad.
every time we bring up a topic, we're like, no, we haven't seen that.
Yeah,
No, we
like-
haven't seen that. No, I haven't read that. No, I haven't seen that. It's like the internet will just disown us. You don't know anything, guys.
Stop talking.
Yeah.
You didn't watch it.
I'm not getting my hopes up for this just yet because, as you know, it's hard to get your hopes up for anything DC right now.
Oh, yeah.
So
I don't get my hopes up for shit for DC.
Right.
Except Arrow just keeps releasing all the fucking characters they're introing. They just revealed today or yesterday that they're bringing in Wildcat.
yeah.
Like, so excited for fucking Wildcat.
They also mentioned they're spinning off to the Atom, right?
Yeah, Brandon Routh is going to play
right.
the Atom.
And that's
Really?
intriguing.
Yep.
And I like the Atom as a character.
Oh, I love the Atom. He's
So-
one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. It's like the DC television universe is actually going the right direction,
In The Flash, they're bringing in Firestorm.
Right. Like, holy shit. Like,
And Captain Cold.
you know what? I fucking hate this because I don't like CW, but damn it, they're doing it the right way.
CW's also releasing a new TV show, iZombie, the comic book.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there's a video game called iZombie.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm-
That's Zombie U. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I mean, the only reason why I know about it is because I think Rob Thomas is the creator of Veronica Mars is involved in that.
Okay.
But yeah, so CW's picking that up.
Interesting. Okay.
CW is picking up DC.
Yeah.
Because they're also doing Constantine and Gotham.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, no. I'm pretty sure Constantine is NBC.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's NBC. Yeah.
NBC isn't DC.
It's not, but for some reason NBC has that. Same with Gotham. Gotham is on Fox.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I know. Well, DC just kind of just gives out all their shit. And Allison, what are you doing?
So she locked
okay.
the door. Now we're going to die.
And moving on from that is now there was a panel for Avengers: Age of Ultron where they of course introduced all of the cast there. But one thing is that hasn't been circulating the internet that much is that there is actually a bit of leaked footage that they have from Age of Ultron. Now, I haven't personally seen this, but I do have a little synopsis of what occurred in this clip. And so here's basically what happened. The Avengers are sitting
Hold
around.
on.
Go ahead.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Skip like 20 to 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this.
Right. So here's what happens in this supposed scene trailer. Yes, Kim?
Can I skip 20 to 30 seconds?
You want to walk out of the room?
There's some dishes in there.
Oh.
Hit him!
Yeah, I see that.
It's like, shut up and make me a sandwich,
I don't
woman.
have to do the dishes here. It's his house. He can do the damn dishes.
Ooh, damn. It's only your house when there's
Feisty.
dishes to be done.
Feisty.
Uh-huh. So,
Little fire.
But when the house is dirty, she's like, clean my damn house, bitch.
Yeah, we're
In your house. I live next door.
So our 30 seconds are up, so we should say spoiler alert again.
yeah.
spoiler alert again.
Another 20
Sorry,
30
those
seconds.
people who are tuning in and out another 30 seconds from now. Okay, so here's what happens. The Avengers are enjoying themselves at a small party apparently thrown by Tony.
Apparently.
They're laughing, they're joking around, and some of them are attempting to lift Thor's hammer. Well, one of them actually is able to move it, implying that one of them might be worthy. Now, Paul had mentioned that in the comics...
Steve has been the only one able to lift the hammer. In the comics, he's been the only person who's not gone by Thor or been like a Thor incarnate who's been able to move the hammer, who's been quote unquote worthy.
They also said that his shield was cracked.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
Point.
There's
I've
been
seen
images
pictures
of
it
that, yeah.
shattered.
Right.
I thought it was like an indestructible shield.
It's supposed to be,
It
but...
is made of a metal that absorbs vibrations and most impact. It's not indestructible.
Oh, okay. I thought
It's
it was
like-
indestructible magic.
Do you remember in X-Men First Class, Kevin Bacon's character? If you hit him, he absorbed it, but when
Yeah.
he like kind of pushed the quarter through his head,
Yeah.
he could die, or he could be hurt. So I mean, you could pull the shield apart.
Okay.
Right.
and Ultron might just be strong as shit because we don't know what he's made of either.
Right. So
Ultron materials.
yeah.
Could be adamantium.
So what happens is, Thor mentions that, he's shocked by this, but he says, none of you are really worthy to wield my hammer, to which all of a sudden Ultron bursts in and says, none of you are worthy, and proceeds to start, beating the shit out of them. And then there's a final clip of all the Avengers just kind of laying around, presumably either dead or dying, with Ultron standing over them.
Obviously not dead, because we've seen the poster where all 8
Are fighting the...
all 6
right.
and Peter and Wanda
Right.
fighting the Ultron swarm.
Right. So, this is intriguing. I wish I could see this, because I want to see, the final look for Ultron. Now, we've seen a couple of first looks as far as what an incomplete Ultron looks like.
That incomplete Ultron.
Right.
The original design, because he upgrades.
Right.
And you've seen the poster, right?
Right.
So, we've seen Ultron. They followed the design.
Right.
And they revealed it on, Entertainment Weekly. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
they kept showing little clips of the poster all week, and then finally put out the full poster. Yeah.
Well, no, on Entertainment Weekly, they had a picture of Tony, Steve, and Ultron standing behind them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can find it online.
Oh, okay, I'll go take a look for that later.
Or somewhere on my Facebook, shared 29 times. Roughly.
Roughly 29.
Maybe 30 for good measure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just to keep it even.
But
Just keep it even.
everything I've been seeing from this has me really excited, because it seems like everything they're doing with this is something I would want to see on screen,
Well, based on what we got from the end credits of Captain America, is that Peter and Wanda are with Hydra. Hydra.
Okay.
We also knew that they were going to start off as villains, and we've seen stills on set of, Wanda fighting Hawkeye.
Okay.
In the poster, we now see all 8 characters
All fighting the
Ultron swarm.
Right.
So it makes me think that it's going to be Hydra and the twins versus the Avengers, and then they're captured or something. And then Tony builds Ultron to lead what's referred to as the Iron Legion, and then he rebels.
Okay.
And then they have to they grab the twins because they need extra muscle. Probably.
Okay. Fair enough. Every time I see it, I'm sorry, I'm still not feeling Quicksilver's design in this. And I don't say that...
feeling the Nikes.
Right.
His fucking white Air Jordans. What are you wearing? No, I know
we said the same thing about his design in Days of Futures Past, but that actually turned out to be, not even a big deal because of how cool that character was.
He fucking rolled.
Right. So, one other thing we're going to wrap up from Comic-Con is that Legendary Pictures had a small panel, and one thing they announced was Godzilla 2.
Right.
Now, in the next film, they have said that it's going to contain Rodan, Mothra, and Ghidorah. Now, Ghidorah was usually his biggest villain. That's the big 3-headed flying thing that looks like a dragon.
A Hydra.
Yeah, it's a Hydra. And that's always been his classic foe. So apparently that one's going to be in the next film, and that I'd fucking love to see. Now, Mothra is actually usually his ally, so I'm interested in seeing that. How they're going to do that, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Because this past Godzilla film left a lot of people wanting. The fan reaction to this recent film has been the first hour and a half is terrible and the last 30 minutes is great. Because apparently it's just boring as hell until Godzilla is actually on screen. Mm-hmm. And there's just not enough Godzilla.
That's what I've heard.
So we will see what they actually do with this next film. But they also announced in this panel that Legendary Pictures is doing Skull Island. Now, Skull Island, for those of you who don't know, is the birthplace of King Kong.
Okay.
So they're going to be doing a prequel for King Kong with all the other monsters that are on that island. And I'm thinking that's kind of interesting. I don't know if they're going to tell the story from the natives' point of view or someone else showing up on the island.
Well, so are they connecting them?
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a prequel or a sequel of them going back to the island after King Kong is gone. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do with this, but I've always been intrigued about Skull Island as someone who's watched the original films and the most recent Peter Jackson one. I like Skull Island. I think you can do so much with that realm. Not just because there's dinosaurs, it's because of how many huge things are there. I mean, just the bug scene was it's awful, but it's really cool to see, So I'm hoping that they can turn this into something cool. I don't know if it's going to be Peter Jackson attached. I have no idea. But I would like them to revisit that world. I want to see what's going on on that island when either King Kong is still there before he obviously dies, or if, sorry, spoilers, but if you don't know, King Kong's dead. Sorry, but
Now so's Karen.
yeah,
You're about to have a bottle thrown at you.
yeah,
Good thing it's full.
yeah.
No, I have seen King Kong. Please, internet, do not kill me.
So, the last bit of movie news we're going to address is that The Evil Dead is being made into a TV series.
Everything's being made into a TV series.
It is, and Allison just shakes her head. But this was announced actually during, in and around the same panel that was going on with Legendary. But this was from Sam Raimi, who was there to discuss his version of The Last of Us, which is being made into a film. But he had mentioned that he is currently in collaboration with Bruce Campbell to produce this film. Now,
Show.
I'm sorry, not film, show, TV show. We have no idea what channel this is going to be on. We don't know.
CW, obviously.
Oh, God. I can only pray it gets picked up by, like, Showtime or HBO so they don't have to cut anything out. But who
Netflix.
knows? Maybe Netflix. It could be straight to Netflix. We don't know. But we assumed that Bruce Campbell, kind of like with the Evil Dead remake, was just going to have, like, kind of like a producer credit. Like, he was just going to be assisting. Well, Bruce Campbell recently came out on Twitter and said no. And his exact quote was...
Fuck you, bitches. I got my chainsaw back.
Only if Groovy Bruce is the star of the new TV show will I accept. That's the plan. So he's saying, unless...
Shop S-Smart.
Right. So he's saying, unless I am the lead character in this show, I'm not helping. So I don't know if that's what Sam Raimi was inferring, or if there's kind of, some trouble going on here. But I would love to see the character of Ash come back. I don't know what canon it's going to be, because now we've had the Evil Dead remake. I don't know if they're going to be following that or following the original, Army of Darkness trilogy. We don't know what they're going to be following here. But I would love for them to revisit this world. I want to see more of this. And Paul hasn't seen any of the Evil Dead. No. Karen, have you seen them?
The Wonder Twins have not.
The Wonder Twins have not. And
Shame.
As a collective.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this.
Obviously, the
That's
goddess
not-
of gore has seen them.
Yeah. You
That
forgot
was a
about me?
given.
Just because I don't have a mic doesn't mean you can't acknowledge me.
Yeah,
I'm
Mike.
sorry.
Did you guys break up? She doesn't have a mic anymore? I'm a clever bitch.
Now, again, like Allison had mentioned, they are taking everything and making a TV adaptation for it right now.
I'm pretty sure
But-
I'm the one that said that.
If this
I rolled
isn't...
my eyes and he knew. It was a nonverbal communication that you verbalized.
I'm going to say this. I am usually against this type of thing, but I am such a big fan of The Evil Dead that if it is Sam Raimi attached, I want to see more. Just
I hope
because
it
I love...
bombs.
Well, thanks. Jeez.
I just don't know how they're gonna make a recurring weekly show
Right.
out of it.
Right. I mean, is
What
it just...
like a different world?
Is
at
it
the
just
time?
going to be
Right.
in the cabin for a full season, or is it going to be back into the past with Army of Darkness, or is it going to be a different family each time going to the cabin and dying each time? That'd be pretty funny, Yeah, who knows what they're going to do with this, but
If that was the case, then they could make a Cabin in the Woods TV show.
yes.
Yeah, because
You
there's
go.
like a bajillion characters there.
Oh my
in the
God,
States.
I would love that.
Each week,
You know what?
different monsters.
It doesn't have to be the same cabin. It could be different scenarios across the world. You can have the
Yeah.
one in Denmark, the one in Japan,
Right.
everywhere. I would love that. Joss Whedon, get on that shit. And bring in Drew Goddard, too. But anyway, we're going to cut to a new segment because
This is part of the anniversary segment.
this is just part of the anniversary because I had some of you submit questions on Facebook and on Podomatic and on YouTube.
Woo!
Hey!
Yay, we're
Woots.
gonna answer them.
Yay!
And there was much rejoicing.
Now,
Yay.
We ate the singers.
we did get a pretty decent response.
What's a pretty decent response?
Well,
Mike went on there
like
and he
5
asked a bunch
questions?
of questions.
Yeah, it was all a bunch of questions from me. Yeah, I was just asking.
And
you.
Steve.
Oh, yeah, and Steve.
Yeah, Steve wants you guys to make out.
Duh. That's
That's a
like
daily
standard.
occurrence. That's a daily occurrence.
He formed it as a question. Will you guys?
Like
No,
the
moving
guy
on.
at 4 and 3 star Sapphire make out.
Here are some of the questions that people submitted through Facebook and Podomatic and YouTube.
God damn. He's giving me such stank face. It's so painful.
He's
Just eyeing me down.
Shut up.
All right.
There
So
are 5 questions. We're going to get through all 5
now,
questions.
we did have one guy, a friend of mine, a past job named Rob, who did submit a couple of questions, but I said, you know what, we don't really care. You know, you can go ahead and submit a couple, so that's fine.
Okay.
So, the
So
first one we're gonna.
that's
He
2 out of
submitted
5.
5.
All right. So
That's 2 of 5?
it's all right. So anyway, the first one from Rob is, how bad will the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles be, and who's shelling out money for it?
Hey, Rob, do me a favor. Drown yourself in a toilet. All right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay positive. You're not making it easy.
I keep seeing new commercials, and I was like, wow, they look really... I don't know if I like them.
I'm going to say this, and I don't like that there's controversy about this, but I do have to address it. Apparently, the Australian premiere, or when it's going to be released in Australia, is going to be on September 11th, which, again, is about a month from now. It's a kind of a later date. I don't know why. But the poster in Australia has the turtles flying out of an exploding building.
That's awesome.
And apparently, people got upset at the fact that the poster says September 11th, and the turtles are flying out of an exploding building.
Okay, why?
Look, I understand. It's stupid. It's really, really stupid. Because
Nothing blew up in Australia.
Right.
Why are we so ethnocentric to think that everything is about us?
Right. It doesn't fucking matter.
You're not even from here. Can you say us?
I'm American.
She's American.
I mean, like,
I'm
you took the
American.
test.
I'm
Oh.
American.
She is American.
I'm
Come on.
American. We're not disputing the fact that I am American.
Now, Rob, to answer your question,
We are.
Paul
like Paul said, we are really, really trying to keep our hopes up for this film, but it's really, really hard to.
And not like good hard like in porn,
Right.
but like bad hard, like difficult
Right.
I think Kim has a comment.
Yes, Kim.
about porn.
No, not about porn. I'm sorry.
That was earlier.
The internet is for porn.
Just the design that everyone's arguing about. Even if you get past that, it's just I think I've noticed that a lot of Michael Bay, like, just the look of everything just looks way too similar. Like, the look of the Transformers, how they're all, like, mechanized and all these parts, and then you have the Turtles, and they have all these different parts, and, like, you know, they're not just the
You
regular...
mean biology?
No, I mean, like
they have legs and arms.
not
and
those parts, mechanical parts.
They don't have mechanical parts.
They have not part
Right.
of them, but like,
I mean, Donnie wears those weird goggles.
yeah, he has the goggles, and they have like just different,
Doodads.
yeah, and just like I don't know.
I mean, I like their design. Like, I'm getting past the design because I like different redesigns. What I don't like is that Shredder is a Transformer.
Yeah,
That's what I don't like so far.
I just feel like
Okay.
everything of Michael Bay's looks similar. To
Yeah, no, I
itself,
agree.
And I don't.
There's no reason the Battleship should have looked like an alien movie. It should have looked
Right.
like The Hunt for Red October.
Right.
I thought Battleship was an alien movie.
It was. There's no reason it should have been.
Right.
It should have been The Hunt for Red October.
Okay.
Right.
And
I
it sounds
was
like Transformers.
This is not what I was expecting.
No.
I was like, I thought this was like based off of the game.
Yeah.
Not
And did
aliens.
anybody say at any point in the game you sunk my battleship? Or the
No.
movie?
No.
I don't recall. I didn't see the
Fuck
film.
that.
I didn't
movie.
see the movie.
No.
I didn't see it. I have
All right.
self-respect.
but
Kind of.
and hopefully, Rob, that answers your question. To sum up, we hope it's good, but no, we are dreading it, and I will probably see it begrudgingly, but I will do like the earliest of early matinee shows, so I don't have to pay a whole lot for it.
I will see it at midnight if they have it open at midnight so that I can be excited and or disappointed immediately.
I will probably wait until it comes out on DVD.
Yeah. But the next question was actually asked by a couple of people, so we're just going to sum up their question into one overall question, which was, what's everyone's top 5 favorite flicks? And a couple people had listed theirs. Some people had mentioned, actually, a couple people mentioned Forrest Gump and The Usual Suspects. But just to let you guys know, I mean, this is a pretty common question for podcasts, but what are your favorite films? You don't have to list all 5, but if you want to just list off 1 or 2, or you want to go to 6 or 7, just go ahead and list off your favorite films. You want to just No, we don't want to start with Kim.
Okay. Because I listed mine earlier.
Yeah, so you go ahead, Paul.
He said 5 and I said 6.
You said about 16.
I said okay.
Pick your top.
Well, no, because what I said
Fingers,
two
there's
of
5.
two of my top favorite movies are Ferris Bueller's Day Off and The Devil Wears Prada. I don't know why I'm such a gay boy for The Devil Wears Prada, but Ferris Bueller's Day Off is just a classic to me.
No, and I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yeah.
What I'm getting made fun of for with the 16 is that I said all Marvel movies except like Elektra, the Ghost Rider movies, the couple
Spider-Man
X-Men
3.
movies that bombed, the Spider-Man 3, like I didn't like. And then I said the Matrix trilogy I'm a huge fan of. I know I get heat for that a lot, but the philosophy behind it I really enjoy. Not necessarily the graphics, but the story. And I love both The Dark Knight and I said the last one I said was Donnie Darko.
Right.
So,
and again, as far as the Matrix trilogy, I know I've given you flack for that. I still love the first Matrix. I think it's a really good film, and the philosophy in that film is quite good. It's the last two I can't get behind.
Well,
not so much the second one. The second one is still kind of okay. It's the third one that I think just falls apart for me. And we don't have to get in a whole debate about it.
We don't. I actually hated the third one the first time I saw it, and then when I got an old friend of mine to watch them together, suddenly the third one was my favorite. I thought that they did one of the best jobs of wrapping up a trilogy that I've ever seen.
Okay, well, fair enough. I won't fight you on that one as much as the Star Wars prequels, but yeah. We're not going to get on that.
Really? You listed the Star Wars prequel?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm an X-Men fan. I stand behind genetics. I'm not against the midichlorian philosophy.
All right, so we're going to move on from that before the internet starts setting our podcast on fire. Miss 3-Star Sapphire, what are your favorites?
I love Spaceballs.
Okay.
I love Pride and Prejudice because
She likes balls and prejudice.
Yep.
Prejudiced against
In those
balls.
order.
Because she lives in slower lower,
No.
and she a hoe.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Yo ho.
What the hell?
I meant farmer, racist.
That escalated quickly.
God,
I
Mike.
know, right?
Wouldn't it be hoer?
Yeah.
Ho-er.
Shut up. No.
I'd be
He's the hoer. He be hoeing the hoe. You know what I'm saying? What?
No, he's the snake.
He's the snake. She's the charmer. With her tonsils.
Okay, so wow.
All right, but that's 2.
All right.
I love the Underworld series, despite how they've had some defaults, but I still like the series, and I think they could go farther. I just like the storyline for it.
Okay.
Despite execution, I felt like faulty in some areas, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I love the story. I just can't get behind the visuals.
Right.
Yeah, some of the visuals like,
Right.
but they had a good.
And the last one, the fourth one, was very suggestive with Kate Beckinsale in there. But it was basically, there were some shots in that film that were basically just saying, yeah, let's just look at her body. You know?
Yeah.
I just thought that in the first movie, the first time you see a werewolf change, it really reminded me of like the 1890s Odyssey claymation movie. I was like, oh, so.
You mean 1890s or 1980s?
I mean, it was made when they were still doing claymation.
Right.
So like the 1420s.
They're still doing claymation.
Not as
now.
bad as they did in the Odyssey.
All right, so is that your list, Allison?
I mean, I like a lot of other movies, but those would be the ones that I could watch like just over
Nonstop.
and over, and I could watch them anytime they're on.
Okay.
Porn.
And
Fair
the
enough.
Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings series is starting to grow on me, so I could just pick it up at any of the movies. Although I haven't seen the second Hobbit movie,
Okay.
so I'm kind of just waiting for it to be out and available on Netflix. For
Okay.
it to come in the mail.
I'm with you.
Fair
But-
enough.
I do love the Lord of the Rings series because
Okay.
I've read the books and I'm just like, oh my god.
Okay.
And
Fair
I like
enough.
The music, so.
All right. Miss Fangirl Extraordinaire, what do you fangirl about? What films?
Okay.
Harry Potter.
So
She pulls-
actually,
and she pulls out a scroll.
actually,
Let me count the ways.
actually, Harry Potter did not make the list.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's very close, but I mean, there were 8 films
Didn't
there.
make
so
Yeah.
it didn't. I'm not sure if I would put it on as esteemed as the ones that I'm about to list, but and this is going to be such a weird list, and I think people are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, seriously?"
I said The Dark
these
Knight and The
movies?
Devil Wears Prada. Like,
Yeah, I had prejudiced balls here.
yeah. And Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale's prejudiced balls.
Hells yeah, dude.
We're making that film.
They're undead.
Oh God.
But I think my top film, my favorite film of all time, is The Sound of Music.
Okay.
That's good.
a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've never seen it.
I
should
have
see it.
more than 5. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
that's fine. That's okay.
5-ish.
Yeah, 5-ish. On the list is also, I think, Space Jam.
Really?
What?
Yeah. I love that movie. It's one of those movies where I can watch it over and over and over again and it'd be okay.
Okay. You
Some
do
sort of
realize that Corey Coleman from Spill wasn't animated for Space Jam, right?
Oh yeah, we knew that.
I
He
didn't
did.
know
Yeah.
that.
One of the
He
characters.
apparently I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he animated Granny in Space Jam.
So he had like 5 minutes of work.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't do a whole lot of work, but he's in the credits. He was an animator.
That's pretty cool.
Well, he did like a year and a half of work for 5 minutes of everything.
Right.
But
That's how
yeah, no,
animation works.
Space Jam is on that list because I also love Michael Jordan. So,
Yeah, Asians gotta love the jungle.
Wow.
I'm going to move past
It
that
works
and go.
the other way
I
around,
want to
Mike.
apologize to
She's
everyone.
ignoring him.
Everyone.
I'm just choosing to ignore Paul for the time being.
Wonder Twins have been separated. temporarily.
It doesn't happen.
Form of my fist in your face.
Shape of a fuck you.
Also
Right.
on the list, I think I have the Lord of the Rings trilogy on the list for sure. But I think if I had to pick a favorite one, it would be the Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay. And like I said, I think that's the most solid of the three as far as a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not so much thematic content, but as far as a solid story, the first one is still the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I love the Two Towers
So
because
did
I
I.
love when the ants like come ripping through at the end.
Oh no, that's a great
Yeah,
scene.
Yeah, like I think there are elements of all 3 movies that like. I mean, all 3 of them are on the list for me. It's just I think in terms of that's the movie that I've actually seen. I think at least like 11 times.
Okay.
11, 12 times already. So, that one I think is the one that cements the spot. I have to say Miss Congeniality
Okay.
That's a good
is
one.
on the list.
That's cute.
Because
Okay.
you're a Sandra Bullock fan girl.
I am.
It's
I'm-
also a very good lighthearted movie.
It is.
It is kind of cute.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Yay. Validation.
I'm not gonna lie. The first one's pretty cute.
Yeah, I
Paul's
like the first
guilty
one.
pleasures. It may arrive on this podcast.
The Devil Wears Prada is a guilty pleasure. If it's on,
He's watching it.
You stop speaking.
And I think I don't know how many that was, but
that's okay. Just keep going.
I think 2 more. I think I'll put 2 more on the list. One of them is going to be The Lion King,
Okay.
Okay.
and then the last one is going to be another Sandra Bullock film, and it's Speed.
Oh, no, Speed is a great film.
I love
I
That's the one with the
love-
bus.
Yes.
The
Okay.
first one.
No. Here's the thing.
The bus.
Never watch Speed 2.
No.
It is god awful. Now, the first
I
Speed
didn't know
is
there
still
was
a
a
great
Speed
film.
2.
I still watching
It's a
that
boat.
film. Yeah.
Oh.
Cruise
But-
Control. Speed
Yeah.
2 Cruise Control.
No, not that
Oh.
one.
That one is bullshit.
Yeah.
That movie was so bad even Keanu Reeves wouldn't come back.
Nope.
That's telling you something.
I like the way he said that though. Say that again, Mike. Say bullshit again.
Bullshit.
Nah, that's not how you say it. You were like
Bullshit.
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 That was fucking. I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
I'll have to go back and listen to this and make sure I can mimic that.
But yeah.
All right, Kim. Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, no.
I was just gonna say my favorite line in that film is when Keanu Reeves makes the guy relay everything back to the station, to Bill Pullman, and Keanu Reeves like looks at the bomb. He's like, "Fuck me," and then the guy goes, "Oh darn." But yeah.
That's a
so,
good.
Anyway,
Bullshit. Oh darn.
Oh darn.
Oh darn.
I will admit, my favorite sequence is actually pretty early on. The shoot the hostage sequence. It shoots Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
there are so many. Good,
Is it Bill Pullman or is it
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels,
It's
that's
Jeff
it.
Daniels,
Jeff
not Bill
Daniels.
Pullman. Yeah, I'm
Right.
sorry. Sorry,
There was a
internet.
Jeff.
Yeah, it's Jeff Daniels.
There's
as-
always
as-
comments
as
now
that
on
buddy.
page-
sorry.
It was the other guy.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
okay.
my bad. That was
All right,
my fault.
And hold on, is Paul heading out? Yeah.
I'm heading out. Thank you guys for listening. I'm waving. Thank you, everybody. This isn't a fucking show. Thank you for listening for the last year, and I'm not going to review any videos tonight, but I guess I'll be back next week.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
He'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye, Paul. Have a good night.
I'm not going to hug anybody because I don't want to interrupt.
That's okay.
All right, bye, guys.
All right,
Bye.
later. So, Karen, were you done with your list?
I think so.
Okay, fair enough. Well, if there's something one of us mentions, you can bring it up for your own as well.
Sounds good.
So we're gonna move on to Kim.
And yeah, this is gonna sound like such a cop out.
Okay.
But honestly, it is almost impossible for me to pick a top 5, top 10, top anything.
And
of
Paul's back.
movies. Those
He forgot his keys.
Kind of pertinent to drive a car.
Only because I don't know.
What 5 movies could you just watch anytime they're on TV?
Just about any movie.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible at this.
Pick
But-
a horror movie that you love to watch.
Well, I know. I was gonna say Cabin in the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Now, I also really, really liked the original 1970 something Halloween,
Right.
because that
1977.
movie, yeah,
right.
that movie scared me and continues to scare me to this day.
it's like
Nice.
Nate's scared of Poltergeist. He was like, man, Poltergeist still freaks me out. He's like, I don't care if I know it's fake. It's freaky.
Like I really like Lord of the Rings. I like just about. I was just thinking like Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's a good one.
Just about like. There's very few movies that I won't watch if they're on TV.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know that that's awful, but
But no, well, you named a couple.
Oh.
That's okay. Okay. Yes,
Karen,
Karen.
Sorry, I forgot one more. I'm
Yes,
gonna
you
put
raised
this
your
on.
hand.
Yeah, I raised my hand.
It's your
I'm
turn.
so sorry to cut you off, but I just
That's okay.
remembered it. I don't know why, if it was because you were talking about horror films, but it's not a horror film. But it's actually The Parent Trap.
Which one?
The original?
No, the Lindsay Lohan one.
Really?
I
Wasn't
love
she
that movie.
cute?
It's so
It was
cute.
before she
I
turned
never saw
crackheadish.
that.
Exactly.
All right,
That's why
fair
I
enough.
loved it. Like, it's kind of like it brings me back to a more innocent time.
She
And,
was
like-
innocent in that one, I agree.
Yeah, I know, right? She was adorable.
Well, fair
I don't-
enough.
that adorable.
Nah.
She was.
She was so
was
like
a
an
crackhead
ugly
at
looking
that
little
point.
kid.
Nah.
She was
Yes.
so cute.
You hate gingers.
No, I wouldn't go that far. Just Lindsay
By
Lohan.
the way, we actually didn't get any questions asking if Allison is a ginger.
We've told them that
We've told them so many times. She's not a ginger.
Although I did tan this weekend, and well, I have more freckles now. I had darker freckles.
Obviously, we know I love horror movies, but I also really like action movies a lot. So if anything like that's on, I'll
Like
always
Die
watch
Hard?
those.
Yeah, you're a big fan of
Yes,
Die
I
Hard.
really
Yes,
do
me
like
too.
Die Hard.
Okay, yeah, that was about to make those. I wasn't sure. I was kind of debating between that one and Speed. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just a lover of all.
Right. Well, fair enough. That's good. Now, as far as me, I tried
Don't
to stay
cup out,
true.
Mike.
What's that?
Don't cup out, Mike.
Oh no, I tried to narrow it down to 5. I'm gonna have a couple honorable mentions on here, but I'm gonna say 5. That like if I had to pick 5 films on a stranded, I'm stranded on an island, and I can only watch these films till the end of the time, it's gonna be these 5. It's gonna be The Dark Knight, Cabin in the Woods, Wall-E.
Wally.
Yeah, I love Wall-E to this day. I don't know why. Just, I adore that film.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's
So
great.
cute.
7
That's a good
That's
movie.
a good movie.
and Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a good movie.
Those would be the 5 films I could watch until the end of the time because they are just, to me, like my favorite films. And I'm not saying they're the greatest films of all time. Let's stress this, guys. These aren't the films we think are the best. These
No.
are our favorite films.
That we could just watch.
That we could just watch over and over
again.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I'm gonna go home and watch Miss Congeniality.
now, if I could add to that, yeah, I would add Halloween to that.
Yeah.
And I would probably also add Speed, and I would also add Ghostbusters, because those are some really, really good films as well. And also, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I would probably add that if I could. Also, I wouldn't add all the Star Wars films, but I would add Empire Strikes Back, just the middle one, because I feel that's actually the best film in the original trilogy.
But it was a whole setup. The whole film was just a setup.
No, it's not. But even
That's how I
as
felt Empire Strike Back.
but
It was a setup for Return of the Jedi.
But yet,
But it
I
led
think,
into it perfectly.
but yet I think it's
Yeah.
better than Return of the Jedi. It's probably the best example of how you do a setup film.
But it doesn't have Ewoks.
Really? I'm going to ignore that troll comment that Allison just made. But yeah, that would be my list.
What about The Shining? I thought you would.
Oh, you know what? The Shining was really close in there. It's between
You're
that.
gonna make him have like a 20-long 5 list.
I know. No. I'm sticking
on.
them.
Yeah, remember it was 5?
5.
He's
But
gonna
I know I'm
like
all these
20.
honorable mentions. Yeah, it was between Silence of the Lambs and The Shining.
Oh, okay.
But I picked Silence of the Lambs.
Coin
But-
flip.
Yeah, but that would be very close. But yeah, those would be my 5. So thank you guys who answered those questions or
Asked.
answered those questions. Who asked those questions. Gosh, I apologize. But moving on from that, another one from Rob on Facebook is, who's everyone's most hated actor/actress? That one person, when you see their name, you immediately say, fuck this shit. Mine is Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart?
Kristen Stewart. Sorry.
He always reads
I
it
say
wrong.
Kristen Stewart.
It's Mike, not Rob.
But Mike, you love Twilight.
I'm going to ignore Allison's troll comment.
But Mike, we saw all the Twilight films.
Yes, we
You
did, and I
loved
fucking
them.
hated them all. God.
You wanted to see them all.
I'm going to ignore Allison's troll comment. Anyway, so the question is, who is your most hated actor/actress?
Oh God, that's hard.
It is.
Now, for
Good
me,
question though.
for me, Kristen Stewart is pretty high up there.
But
There-
she's such a cool person.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, no, she seems like a pretty. Okay, except for the cheating stuff. But like, but you know, she's all right. She's kind of normal person.
Okay, but you know what? You could say that
slight
about a
drug
lot of
abuse
actors and
and-
actresses. We're not talking about them as people. We're talking about them as actors
actors
and
and
actresses.
So,
Right.
like, if you see them on screen,
Yeah.
If you see
You
him in
would
the
turn-
trailer, you're gonna be like,
you'd be
no,
like,
I'm
no,
not.
No,
watching
I'm
this.
avoiding
done.
this. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was going to say Kristen Stewart is probably pretty high on my list, if not the highest. But go ahead, Kim.
I was gonna say Megan Fox is pretty.
That's
high
a
on
good
that
pick.
Megan
That's a
Fox is
very
high on
good
my
pick.
list.
Yes. If I see her in a trailer, I'm like, oh god, this is probably something I'm going to avoid.
Yeah, which ties into Rob's other question of the mutant turtle.
Right.
movie.
Right. That too. Allison, Karen.
the first name that came to my head, probably because we were just discussing Star Wars, though, is actually Hayden Christensen.
That's a very good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that he is basically just a one-note actor.
It's
He's a pretty
less
face.
than that. Like, it's like,
right.
but yeah.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you on that boat too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I thought for you I could have sworn you were going to say The Rock.
No, I mean, I don't, like, the thing is, I don't hate him that much. I just think that there would have been a better cast for Hercules. There could have been, but I mean, I haven't seen the movie. He might have been awesome in it. And I think that there probably could have been a better Shazam.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not going to get into that, but, like, him in those, like, really stupid, fluffy movies, I don't mind. Like
Okay.
those, the one where he was the Tooth Fairy or whatever.
Right,
Like, I'm
yeah.
like,
Tooth Fairy.
yeah, I'm
Fairy,
like,
yeah.
okay, I can do that. So, you know,
Okay.
yeah.
Fair
Because I
enough.
think Hayden Christensen, on the other hand, takes himself really seriously as a legit actor or something, and I'm like, no,
Right.
thank you.
Right.
But
Go ahead.
As an actor, I don't really like Sylvester Stallone,
Really?
but as a voice actor, I like him.
As a
Like-
voice actor.
So like
What voice work has he done?
in Ants,
Oh, that's right. He was one of the lead ants. And he was
love
actually
him
he was
as
good
a
in that.
Really,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
he has a really good voice to be like a cartoon voice, to be like the voice of a cartoon. I just don't really like him as an actor. His face, his body.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just
Especially
don't really
now
care
that-
for him.
with all like the
Yeah.
work that
Okay.
looks like has been done on him.
Fair enough.
He's
Fair
gotten
enough.
So much done.
He has. Yeah. And I while you guys are debating back and forth, I did think of someone, and again, it goes back to Twilight. Robert Pattinson.
But Mike,
no.
you love
No,
Twilight.
no. Here's the thing. I have seen him in
sparkles.
several films outside of Twilight. I've seen him in Water for Elephants and Remember Me.
And don't forget
Both of
Harry Potter.
those
Harry
were-
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Oh, and well, he wasn't in Harry Potter. He's only in
he
one
died.
Well, he was.
film. But no, I'm saying. Well, I'm saying he wasn't in the whole
Where's the table? I need
series.
to flip it. But he was still in it.
Okay,
Like, I mean,
well,
It still counts.
he's still
okay.
a character.
Okay, well,
Harry
in
Potter
Harry
was
Potter,
a
he was all right. But again, he was killed off, so I was happy. But every other film I've
He was
seen him
also
in,
not Cedric. Like, he
Yeah.
was not what anybody pictured Cedric to be.
well,
Right, yeah.
I've seen him in all the Twilight films. I've seen him in Water for Elements and Water for Elements. Wow. I made,
Is that about hydrogen and oxygen?
I made Karen spit out her nose.
Hard cider's not supposed to come out the nose, Michael. What are you doing to her?
Sorry about that. The Twilight films, Water for Elephants,
Or elements, whatever.
and Remember Me. He's been in one other film, I believe, and I think it was the Cronenberg film, like Cosmopolitan or something like that, which I have never seen and I have no plans to see. But yeah, every film I've seen him in, he's been worse than the last. I cannot stand this guy, and the fact that he continues to get work continues to upset me. Because he seems to get worse in every film. And in Water for Elephants, it was made all the worse because he was surrounded by good actors who were so much better than him. Reese Witherspoon and Christoph Waltz were acting circles around that kid. And it just showed off all the more how bad he was. So, yeah, that he would be at the top of my list. So, thank you, Rob, for your questions. Both of which were quite good. So, thank you. We appreciate those questions.
Any more?
Not from Rob. We still have a couple more. Yeah. Another one was from Melissa on Facebook, which asks, where do babies come from?
Well, you see, there's this little
Stork.
farm that grows cabbages.
Ah.
And then inside the cabbages, there's babies.
Oh, there is.
So, yeah.
Dork picks and delivers the cabbages when it's ripe.
Yeah. And
See-
they
Oh, and here I thought it was sex.
Yeah.
Oh, silly Karen.
Goodness.
That's preposterous, Karen.
Don't you watch TV?
Wait,
Don't you read the internet? They never put anything wrong on the internet.
wait, Karen, what's that?
I feel like that's an insult.
No, oh my God, no. You know, I prefer the Merriam-Max explanation, which is that babies are found in the bottom of beer cans.
Yeah, that was
That can be true. Or wine bottles.
Or wine bottles.
Or liquor bottles.
yeah. Any and all of the
alcoholic
above.
beverage.
Even a wine box.
Or it's a wine box. Bottle.
Yep. That's where babies are. So,
Keg.
Melissa, thank you for your question. I hope we answered it fair enough. And we had one from Anonymous on Podomatic, which is,
How are
Who-
you anonymous?
they submitted an anonymous question. Simple as that.
Anonymous.
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 Anonymity.
Anonymous.
So their question is, who do you feel is currently the most typecast actor or actress in Hollywood? Now, I had a quick answer for this one. There was
Yeah, me
another one,
too.
but my quickest answer was Michael Cera. Because I feel like maybe he's just making all the parts the same, but he is cast as the same character quite a lot.
Yeah.
Just the awkward high school type, which he's getting older now. He can't play that too much anymore. But just that awkward guy who can't get the girl, but is somehow still charming in some way. And he's always that part. So that for me is Michael Cera. But I also thought for a minute Sam Worthington. He is also typecast a lot as the stoic hero type who has a dark past, yet somehow overcomes that in the end.
Can you refresh our memory?
Sam Worthington,
Yeah.
Avatar, Clash of the Titans, Terminator
okay.
Salvation. He's almost always that character.
I got you. I remember
the
who you're
anti-hero
talking
with the
about
dark
now.
past. Yeah. Anyone else?
Jet Li.
Jet Li. He's typecast as the badass. Yeah.
As Jet Li. Yeah, I know.
Fair enough. Anyone else?
I say Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. Typecast as what? He's been
always an angry man.
but well, not always.
Well,
he
most
wasn't
of the
angry
time.
in the Star Wars prequels. In fact, he was very subdued in the prequels.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so that's one.
But then again, a lot of people would say, he wasn't the best casting choice for that. A lot of people
See?
said
Because
someone
he
like
wasn't angry.
right. I've actually heard a few people argue that oh my god, I forget the actor. older black actor.
Morgan Freeman.
Not Morgan Freeman.
Is he still
alive.
Is he an older actor?
Yes, I don't think he's still acting anymore.
Sidney Poitier?
Sidney Poitier. There you go.
Way to go, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah. He's much older.
What a lot of people said he would have been a good Mace Windu. He didn't have to be swinging a lightsaber. He didn't have to be, the hero type. He could have been much more subdued, like Yoda, just kind of the wise counselor in the background.
Yeah.
And that, I thought, would have been really good for that. You don't have a subdued Samuel Jackson. Who you have is someone like Sidney Poitier.
Because there's motherfucking snakes on the plane.
I'm tired of these motherfucking Sith in my motherfucking temple.
Oh, gosh.
But no, you have someone like him who can do that really subdued, powerful performance, That would have been great, not Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digress. So Allison says Samuel Jackson.
Oh, I was just thinking Jason Statham, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you could say him. But you could say that for a lot of action guys,
Well, I was also thinking Adam Sandler.
Well, he's not typecast so much as he just puts himself into the same role in
That's
each movie.
true.
Yeah, it's like he did to
He
himself.
casts himself.
They're all Happy Gilmore films.
That's true.
Or Happy Madison films.
Happy Madison Productions,
Yeah,
right?
whatever.
Kim, did you ever respond to this question?
When we were all talking, I couldn't pinpoint one.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I fail.
No, it's fine. We did list quite a few, so it's kind of, you can, it's
We
hard
took
to pick.
them all.
We took them all, right?
Exactly.
So, to answer your question, Anonymous.
I'm surprised you didn't say
Robert Pattinson?
no.
But you love him.
McCarthy. What the hell's her first name?
Oh, Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
That one's pretty close, yeah. I would say that, well, here's the thing. A lot of her films are from the same production company, but they're also the same director, who I actually think is her husband. I don't know if you realize that. He actually had a starring role in Tammy. He was one of the side characters. I didn't see Tammy, but apparently he was a side part.
Oh,
and
yeah, she is like the same in every single movie.
Right. And
I think she's got so much more potential.
well,
Yeah.
and I keep saying that, but we keep seeing her do the same shit, so we have to say,
Well, they keep
does
giving
she?
her the same part. Some of
Yeah.
it's not just her. Some of it's
but it's her
people are like,
husband
"Ooh."
putting her in these parts.
But it's also what the standard of Hollywood is, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's a shallow industry to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And, for a bigger woman, it's kind of
Full-figured.
difficult to have, full-figured women.
Full-figured.
It's a little more difficult. Not like, I don't agree with the standard. I think that she should have a lot more. I think she should have a lot more material to kind of
Right.
work with. But these are the only roles which I think are written.
Right. So that is it for our questions. So thank you guys for your questions. There were some really good ones in there. We appreciate all of your submissions.
We should have more questions. I
all
like
5
answering
of them.
questions.
Yeah, I like answering them too. We'll do it more often. It's the first time we did it. And if we can get more submissions like this, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Just don't ask us the favorite question again. I know that's really popular to ask. We're answering it now, so we don't have to answer them ever again. If you have film questions, that's great. Just don't say what's your favorite. Because that's kind of boring. We'll
We'll
just keep
probably
rehashing.
end up posting it on
Right.
Facebook, and it's like, these are our favorites. You can go and check.
And then these are the honorable mentions, and
Yeah.
I know that
But
they're a
of
lot
those,
longer.
because and I want to make a quick decision now, because we had said whoever had asked the best question would be on a podcast with us at some point. And I think Rob had some pretty good questions. What do you say?
Yeah.
I know, where do babies
I
come
know. I
from?
thought I
That
was going to
was
go
a good
with
one.
I know, where
Do
did
you
they
like
come
Melissa's
from?
question? Where do babies come from?
We've got 3 against 1.
But I think all of the questions were great.
Yeah, they were. But Rob had the one, of course, about Ninja Turtles, and then most hated, and
That was fun.
yeah. So.
Yeah.
So, Rob, if you want to come on at some point, we will shoot you some information, and we'll have you on Skype at some point. We'll have you on a podcast. If you'd like to do so. If you don't want to, that's fine. Some people don't want to come on and, be harassed by Paul.
Basically.
Paul doesn't bite.
Hard.
Well, that we know of.
You
Yeah.
know.
He's never
He
bitten
probably
me.
does. We just don't
He
know.
probably bites his...
Oh, actually, there was one final question from Steve, which asked, can the girls have a threesome kiss?
I thought that was already asked earlier on. And we already
asks
said
that all the
no.
time.
Because it's wait, hold on. Is the question a daily occurrence, or the threesome kiss is also, that's actually a daily
Both.
occurrence already,
Right.
so we don't need to repeat
Right.
it all the time.
Right, yeah.
Steve, no.
So, getting into the trailers, the first one, which a lot of people have been asking for, which is 50 Shades of Grey.
Woo!
Do you have any interests outside of work?
What about you? I'd like to know more about you.
There's really not much to know about me. Look at me.
I am.
That was a sarcastic woo. I
didn't read the book.
I didn't either.
I don't think
But-
anyone here has read the book,
I don't
and
know
thank
about
God.
it. I heard it was dark. The book
It's-
was like really dark, and I
It's
was like,
softcore porn.
Yeah.
No,
The movie did
there's
not
no,
seem like
Karen,
softcore
there's a
porn,
name
though.
for this now. It's called mommy porn.
mommy porn.
There's a
Yeah,
definition.
the moms want to read, and so they can escape from their terrible.
That's what the drugstore books are for.
Right.
Right,
So
but-
it's just
Romance
a
trashy
popular
romance.
version.
But
of
that's basically this. It's a more popular version of that, and it's called mommy porn. And apparently this is its new category.
50 Shades of Grey.
But
Now-
there's other
I don't know.
books out there that
That do
have
that.
sex scenes in them,
Right,
that are
and have
Yeah.
done
better
it
than this.
and
I
have
know.
and have done it much
Like-
much better.
So
Right.
yeah.
Read the first couple True Blood series. Oh my god, it's like softcore porn listening to it. I felt dirty listening to this. I'm like, oh my god, this is really dirty.
Now,
I'm in a house alone with a dog and I feel dirty.
now, before we get into the actual trailer, a little bit of backstory about the book. It has now become a phenomenon. Do any of you know the backstory of how this book came to be? Karen does.
You mean the
Well, I mean, it was fan fiction written for Twilight.
Yes, it was. It was originally fan fiction, where this woman, I forget her name, had written for this website where it was just a collection of fan fiction stories about Bella and Edward. And one of them, which was this story, involved a lot of bondage, a lot of BDSM, and a lot of dominant submissive.
I thought 50 Shades of Grey was a lot older than that.
No. This was written back in like 2007, 2008.
Yeah, it was relatively recent.
Yeah. Actually, might have been sooner than that. But then the website turned around and said, no, this is actually a little too graphic for our website. And they pulled it down, to which the woman replied, you know what, I'm going to make my own website, and I'm going to change the names, and I'm going to write my own book. And sure enough, people fucking bought into it. Mm-hmm. All she did was change the names of the characters and what they did for a living. That was it.
yeah.
So,
I mean, I do have to say, like, to write good fan fiction, it takes a lot to write good fan fiction because there's a lot
but
of
is anyone
crap.
claiming this is good fan fiction? That's the
no.
problem.
No.
There's been a lot of people who have said even as fan fiction, this
it's
is
not
pretty
very
bad.
good, yeah.
Right.
Because there is good fan fiction out
Oh,
there.
there
There
is.
is very good steamy fan fiction out there.
Karen,
Not
are you
that I would
writing-
know.
Not a collection
I'm
of
just saying.
fan fiction.
Pulls out her binder with Harry and
version.
Hermione.
Harry, what? Excuse me?
Harry and Ron, get it right.
Oh, there you go.
Draco, hello. Harry and Hermione, what is he thinking? Oh my goodness. Anyway,
Mike's about to give her a heart attack over here. Watch out.
So, as far as this goes, again, there is a huge, huge following for these books,
Yeah.
and now subsequently this film. Now, judging the film by itself, this looks to be just the whole story of the average girl falls in love with the overly
Millionaire.
rich guy, and he, shows her the time of her life, but then has some sort of dark backstory. And this one happens to be, I'm into BDSM. Which is kind of glossed over in the trailer, but apparently that's about 70% of the book.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, in the trailer, I was like, I thought this was a lot more rough.
Yeah, like I
Right.
thought it was a lot more graphic.
like,
so I'm like,
that's-
this is it.
Yeah.
Right. Now, again, they couldn't do that in a film because that would just be a porn. That's basically
That's
what it
why
would...
they make it rated R.
Right.
Or
Now,
NC-17.
funny story about that. I don't know if you know this, but there was actually a lawsuit by Universal against a porn company who was going to release a film about this first. So the porn parody was going to come out before the actual film itself. And they were making it, and then Universal said, no, we own the rights to this. You can't make this film.
Oh, wow.
It's like, w-
Were they still going to call it 50 Shades of...
no, they'd actually called it something else. It was like...
40 Shades of Black.
40 Shades of Black. Yeah. God.
Bigger,
No.
blacker dick.
Bigger, blacker dick. No, I forget what it was going to be called. It was like 50 Shades of Flesh or something like that. But
Yeah, we were close.
yeah, I have no
Sounds
idea.
like a
but
zombie movie.
It does.
I know.
As the zombies digress.
But I feel like I just can't comment on this because I said the same thing about Twilight because as many people who criticize me for it, I did read the first Twilight book. I
did?
Yes, I've told you this before. I did my best to get through it.
I heard the books were better.
The books were way better,
But they're not good.
but they're
Okay.
not good.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to
pleasure.
say
Okay.
the same thing about this. Again, having not read 50 Shades of Grey, I'm going to say the same thing about this as I said about the first Twilight book. It's role-playing for a certain female demographic. Basically, yeah, Bella is never described in any detail in the books. She's basically a brick. It's just
So Kristen Stewart did do a good job.
Yeah,
right.
she did.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Actually.
She's just a void for women to slip into to pretend that this character is them. And apparently the same occurs in 50 Shades of Grey. There is never
because she's based off of Bella.
Right.
There is no description of this woman. And therefore
Oh, look, and Edward is rich. Again.
Oh, is Edward rich? In
I have no idea. But yeah, I've been told the same thing about 50 Shades of Grey. It's just an empty void of a character with very little descriptions about her that people can just slip into, or women can slip into, just to pretend that this is them. Now, if you're going to have a role-playing book, in of itself, that's okay. There's nothing wrong against wanting to do that. I mean, most stories are that. We watch films, we watch TV shows because we want to be some of these characters. We want to be action
escape
heroes.
into the world.
But yeah, it's escapism. And that's okay. Except when the woman is being emotionally and physically abused throughout 70% of the book.
But
Is she?
My question, you don't know that. You haven't read the book.
Okay, I'm just saying
you
this
don't
is the,
know what is going on.
I haven't, but that is a very common criticism of 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh.
But criticism from whom?
Men.
Like religious rights wing groups who are
No.
saying
Women
that
activists.
bondage is bad?
No, it's not the bondage thing. It's the I don't know.
You
I
could
don't
say
know.
the same
I don't know. I
about
haven't
Edward
read
and Bella because
Like, sorry, continue.
I was just saying you could say the same thing with Edward and Bella. It's just like
Well, no, I wouldn't
the whole-
because I would say that
can't.
Bella
Feel
is
like-
torturing him because she's the
Right.
bitch leading him on. In this, it's the
No,
reverse.
she only did that to Jacob.
What?
She didn't do that to Edward.
Like, but the thing is,
She
I
was just
think
obsessed.
in any situation where a male is in power, and like if it was like you were sleeping with your boss, for example, and she was going in for a job interview, so I can see where that argument could come from. It's because there's something to gain from that situation, possibly. There is a power struggle, and the power dynamic makes it so that it would be abusive in some context. That makes
Right.
sense. So it's not necessarily a free choice thing. But again, we don't know how the movie is going to portray the situation.
Right.
And I mean, I've never read the book, so I don't know what the dynamic is and whether or not it is going to be an abusive, emotional, and physical. I don't think it's going to be physical abuse because BDSM in and of itself is a voluntary thing.
Right.
So, but I mean, I don't know. And
in fact, I think I talked to you about that before, which there's a great episode of CSI where they address that topic. And her name's Lady Heather, I think was the
I
woman's
love
name.
Lady Heather.
And
She's
she
great.
says, or I think it was actually Grissom says it. It's like, don't you realize that the submissive is the one with the power?
I love their relation. I'm sorry. I love the relationship between Grissom and Lady
I
Heather.
still-
Oh my God,
that
me
was-
too.
that was-
I know. I thought they
No,
totally
I
should have
loved
gone
that
together,
relationship
right?
in that show. That was a
Yeah.
great relationship.
Yes.
It was.
And
And
then,
they brought her back for like 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah,
You know?
and
And that was
then
great.
They put
Yeah.
Grissom with Sarah, and I'm just like,
Yeah, like really?
but Sarah was just blah.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
did not like Sarah.
Yes.
She really
Anyway.
annoyed me.
Anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry that I did that.
No, that's okay.
I love
That's
CSI.
Me
And-
too. Me too.
It's-
I stopped watching. Okay, we'll talk about this later.
We'll talk about CSI. Okay. Now, I do want to say one thing before we get off this. There is a 2002 film, or I believe it was 2002 film, called Secretary. Has anyone seen it?
Oh
Anyone have?
yes.
With Maggie Gyllenhaal.
No.
No.
Karen thought she had it.
It's okay.
No.
I forget the lead actor in it, but it's about a woman who's a secretary, Maggie Gyllenhaal, worked for this guy whose last name, oddly enough, is Gray, who basically sexually harasses and ends up being in a sexual relationship with his secretary, involved with a lot of ropes, handcuffs, and bondage.
Okay.
And I'm sitting here saying, again, having not read 50 Shades of Grey, how has there not been a lawsuit? Because it's a character named Grey making someone who's basically working for him do these things.
I have a question.
Shoot.
I didn't think she was going for an interview. I thought she was there to interview him for a magazine.
I think
Oh, right,
so.
right,
Couldn't
Right.
tell what it was
Okay.
supposed
You're
to
right.
be.
I
Right,
think
yeah, it was a little-
she was
it was a
working
little
for a
confusing.
paper, or we don't know who she was working for, but yeah. It looks like she goes in there for some sort of interview and ends up
But
becoming
to
something
interview
more.
him,
Right.
not for a job with him.
Right,
Interview.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
So
I know.
that's, I mean,
That
That's
changes
different.
things.
That's
Yeah,
different. That's a
yeah.
different dynamic, right? Well,
so
okay.
not copying.
Okay, I'm just saying it's
Bam!
a rich, powerful white guy named Gray, and it's the same type of situation. I don't know. I think they'd have a case there, but
So that's never mind.
But I mean,
That's like having
All right,
Marvel
Mr. Anderson.
sue George R.R. Martin because of Stark or something.
it's just the same name. If they had set up, if Marvel had set up a whole world where there were 7 kingdoms, and then there was a Stark family who would always die,
Mike-
yeah, that would make sense.
Mike, I think Kim is basically just saying your point is invalid. Let's move on.
You're wrong. Let's move on. Wrong.
Anyway,
Wrong.
moving on to the next trailer is Mad Max Fury Road.
My name is Max. My world is fire and blood.
Which is exactly like the old Mad Max 2 with Mel Gibson, because I just watched it this weekend.
Well, it's the same series. It's the same director.
I know, but it was like almost screenshot for shot.
It's George Miller. It's the same world. That's what I'm saying. Now,
I
I don't know if this
know.
is in between one of the films. I don't know if this is a sequel or if it's a prequel of some sort. I don't think it's a prequel. I'm pretty sure it's a sequel. But this is the same world. They're saying it's the 4th film, so it's actually going to be after Thunderdome, which was the 3rd film in the series. For those of you who haven't seen the Mad Max series, it started off with the first film, which was Mad Max, followed by Mad Max Road Warrior, then Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and now this film, which
And
is,
that whole tanker scene,
is amazing.
I mean, it is like shot for shot, though. Even the cars are the same. I was like, oh my god, I feel like I just watched this.
Oh, you're talking about in the trailer where
In the
they're
trailer.
with him attached to the yeah.
yeah,
you're-
I mean, it's like...
It's very reminiscent of Road Warrior. I will say
Yeah.
that. But that being said, I love that they're making another Mad Max. I can't wait for this. I love the Mad Max films. Now,
Yeah, but is he going to be Australian again?
of course, the film takes place in
Course,
Australia.
yes.
Now, they've cast Tom Hardy as Mad Max.
I don't know who that is.
Tom Hardy was Bane
Bane.
in Dark Knight
And
Returns,
he was also
or
in
Dark
Tinker,
Knight Rises, I should
Tinker
say.
Tailor Soldier
He's
Spy.
in
Right.
Inception.
right?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I'm wrong there.
And I like Tom Hardy. I
like Tom
think he's
Hardy.
a pretty solid actor. Also in this, you can't really tell.
Charlize Theron.
Yes,
Yeah.
Charlize Theron.
She looks like she's gonna be pretty amazing.
Right. And she has some sort of quasi-futuristic mechanical arm of some sort. I'm like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
kind
she
of...
looked like a bad guy.
What
Yeah.
was going on in this trailer?
And
Other
it-
than I
yeah.
knew it was Mad Max, and I haven't actually seen the other Mad Max movies, but I know their premise.
Mhm.
So that was pretty much the only thing I got from this.
Right.
Other than that, I have no
Yeah, I
idea
do.
what's going
I
on.
had no context going in at all.
Okay.
I didn't even know what
see,
it was.
The context was they're like fooling them with driving the tanker.
There was.
'Cause
Well,
it's
no,
like a poster-
Allison. You're having her miss the complete point. What she's asking is, what is up with this world?
Like
Oh,
yeah,
it's
like
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
it's in
yeah, 'cause I
it's in
didn't know.
Australia.
Yeah.
And in Australia, what has happened is society is broken down. There's no more water. There's no more oil. Really, there's nothing
Well, there's
left.
oil, but it's under the ground, and you gotta like stake your claim, and you defend your territory like your life depends on it.
Yeah.
because
Right.
it does.
Right. Okay.
And so there's really only the only people who control oil control everything,
It's like
basically.
what is it? Tank Girl? Oil is power.
Right. No, Tank Girl is water.
Water is power.
So
Electrolytes. It's what plants
it's what grave.
But
funny to see that
like
movie.
toilet, like water from, the toilet. Ew.
But in The Road Warrior, which was the second film, there was a whole sequence, which is one of the final sequences in the film, which is a badass sequence when
That
Mad
tank
Max
truck.
is fleeing in a tanker supposedly filled with oil, and all these ruffians are trying to get at it.
Ruffians.
I was
Ruffians.
like, that's a nice way to say it.
all these gang members are trying to get at it to get to
Right.
the oil. And then in Beyond Thunderdome, they actually forego the oil for an alternate fuel, which is methane, where they actually farm the
Farts of everybody.
the farts. No, the farts of pigs, actually.
Oh, okay.
And they use that to power a town. So it's really just whoever can get power. And then they rule whatever community they're in.
Right.
Now, in this, it doesn't look like they're even going for that look at all. It looks like in this, they're farming women. Because if you notice, a lot of the women are wearing the same outfits. They're wearing those white shawl dress
I
things.
thought it was just the same person.
No,
Yeah,
there-
like,
there's
like
there's
just-
no,
There
there's
was, like,
four
a
or five of them.
Yeah,
community of
but
people.
there were a couple
Oh.
of them.
There's 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
There
And
was
in-
one that kept showing up,
Yeah.
though, and I think that's
Oh,
Zoe
okay.
Kravitz.
Right.
I think it
And
was.
Okay.
you see these women getting picked up by these gangsters. Like they're not going for the oil. They're trying to grab these women.
Maybe
And-
it's like a was that movie Children of Men or where
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
Children of
you
Men.
can't
Where
have
they couldn't
babies or
reproduce.
something.
Mhm.
Or something.
Yeah, and it could be something like that. Like, yeah, they're trying to just get women because it's because mankind is on its last string, and they're like, okay, we just need
Yeah.
to reproduce now.
Go forth
you know?
and procreate.
But
Yeah.
I think there was just way too little for anybody to go on. Like I
Right.
really
Yeah.
don't know what exactly it was. Like was there I kind of don't remember things about the trailer now.
Okay, well, you had the start of Max just standing there in the distance.
Was there a water scene? Like
Yes.
okay, good.
He was fighting in
'cause-
water somewhere.
Right,
yeah.
because you were talking about how there was no water, and then I'm just like, wait, I did see water, right? Like,
Right.
just making sure. Okay.
Right.
So that was the right trailer. I'm not mixing it up with
Right.
another one. Okay.
And there was a shot of in his I forget the name of the car. It's just like basically the Interceptor, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, his black car.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's like the same car.
Yeah, well, it's all the same model. It's his 1973 Australian car, and they're all the same make and model. He loves that model of car. And in the beginning of this, it's wrecked, and he gets kidnapped, and they tattoo him, and they strap him to the front of
Right,
another
yeah.
car. You know,
And then where he has his
Yeah.
Bane mask on.
right.
Wait, and then there was like a Skeletor man with
Right.
the Bane mask.
Yeah, I
Um,
was.
It had like tubes, like breathing tubes coming out of it. It was
Yeah,
very
it was
odd. I know.
weird.
I know. There is very little to go by in this trailer. All I can say is I cannot wait for another Mad Max film. I love this series, and I still love the first Mad Max. The second one, I think, is my favorite, The Road Warrior, and the third one, Beyond Thunderdome, is kind of quirky in parts, but I still like it. I can only hope, since this is the same director and it's going to be basically the same team producing, that it has the same feel of those original films. And from what I've been told, only about 20% of this film is CGI. 80% of it is actual cars,
Yeah.
explosions. I'm like, apparently they like
I read
15%
that
of
too.
CGI is Charlize Theron's arm. I was like, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have this physical, gritty world
Yeah.
that they're gonna be living in.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what
like-
they did with the original movie.
Oh well,
It
yeah,
was
exactly.
like-
They didn't have any CGI.
yeah, it was
So-
all explosions. I was, when they did the big explosion of the tanks,
Right.
when they're like fleeing, I was like, damn, you only do that once, and you put as many cameras as you can.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah, because I read somewhere as well. Like most of the stunt work was done by actual people. Again, not a lot of CGI, and a lot of the actors did their own stunt work too. So.
Right. So I'm again. We know very little about this right now, but I am really, really looking forward to
Yeah.
it.
Like not knowing anything
Oh, yeah.
about the previous Mad Max, when I saw the trailer, I was still really excited for it.
Right.
So
Absolutely. So moving on to the next film, which is Honeymoon.
So this is the famous family cottage.
Do you like it?
Here's what I see. The woods. A lake. No one around. Pete? This isn't funny. Pete? Please! Pete!
couple things about this, but first I'm going to give a quick summary of who is in this and
Had
who
to
they're
watch it
attached to.
twice.
Yeah, as did I. I had to watch it twice as well. Now, the lead actress in this is Rose Leslie, who many of you know from Game of Thrones. Now, I forget her name on Game of Thrones. What was her name?
Egrid or something.
Egrid or Ingrid or something like that, right? Where she was the redhead who was above the wall. She was one of the wildlings who was above the wall,
Yes.
who fell in love with Jon Snow. Well, she is in this, and I haven't seen her in anything else. Kim had mentioned that she's
She was in
Downton Abbey.
I've only seen a couple episodes of Downton Abbey, but she was in that. She was one of the maids.
And you liked her in that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, fair enough. Because I mean, I like you had mentioned, I wasn't a big fan of her in Game of Thrones. I just
didn't like the character.
Right, I wasn't a huge fan of the character. I thought she was okay as the actress. I just think maybe the character in herself was weak.
Yeah.
Well, she is the lead female in this film. I forget the actor's name, but the director is actually Leah Janak, who recently was attached to Europa Report and Mirror Mirror.
Oh, Europa Report. I watched that.
And what did you think of Europa Report?
Well,
Okay. Now, she wasn't a
That's
director.
enough said.
She was an assistant on that. So this is actually, I think, her directorial debut, this film. Now, the early press releases for this have been very good. And my question is, what is this film about? Now, we go by early on, this is about a couple who's going on their honeymoon to some cabin in the woods, which, by the way, why would you go on a honeymoon to a cabin in the woods? Is that not just, like, cursed right there? I mean, I know you're trying to get away, you're trying to be alone, that's all fine, but it's a cabin in the woods.
As long as it's not too far in the woods.
Yeah, like if it's by a lake, it would be really nice.
Yeah.
Well, like this one is,
like
apparently
the
by a
lake
lake.
house.
Yeah. That
Was that
the
with-
Keanu
was in
Reeves
the-
and
yeah.
Sandra
Yeah.
Bullock. and
Oh,
the time
God.
travel movie.
No.
I haven't actually seen it,
I have
unfortunately.
not seen that. I have
I
no yearning
should
to.
because it's Sandra Bullock
Yeah.
and Keanu Reeves together again. So
Right, yeah.
you know.
Anyway. No, I just
Speed
want to
through it.
I don't
Yay.
I mean this place looks pretty isolated. I mean, you only ever see one other person in this trailer. So it appears they're pretty isolated in these woods except
Really?
for
You saw
the
another
lake.
person? I didn't even know.
Yeah, there was some other girl.
There was some
came
girl
up
who was
and
down there.
Like, you're gonna die or something.
Oh,
like that.
really?
That wasn't the same girl. That was a different girl.
Yeah.
Oh.
That changes everything.
I'm not sure.
I
I'm not
told
sure
you
what
you
I
had
watched
to
now.
watch it twice.
Okay, I should go back and watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're vacationing. Well, not vacationing. They're honeymooning in this trailer. Oh my God, not in the
Cabin?
in this cabin, sorry. What's the matter, Karen?
No. I know what you're talking about now. I know where that other girl came in.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
like, because I didn't realize. I thought it was the same. I thought it was the wife. That's why it didn't make sense.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, no, it's okay. So, it's these two honeymooning in this cabin. Now, at one point, this girl goes out and is sleepwalking, and she's apparently naked in the woods, and all her stuff is torn up, and the boyfriend goes out there, and he finds her nightgown torn up, and there's, like, goo on it or something. And,
Goo.
Goo.
I don't think
Goo.
it's goo.
well, then what is it? Some
I
sort of
went
slime.
to some kind of dirty thought, and I was like,
So did I.
Where did you guys go?
something like a tree rape.
Yeah, that's what I was going.
And
I
you
thought-
know-
yeah,
and
that's
you
what
know
I
what?
went to too.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. At the end when she says there's something in the woods, did you not immediately just think, okay, this is the Evil Dead
Yeah.
tree scene?
Yeah, like that's what I thought. Even though I've never seen Evil Dead, but that's where my mind went.
Right. And
Yeah.
and then she has like
Tree
some
sap.
mark inside her leg. And and I'm like, what?
Sap.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what it was. Tree sap.
Yeah,
It's-
what's
It's a
going
bite
on in those
from
woods?
the dogwood.
Oh.
Oh my.
Dude, I am full of bad puns today.
But yeah, I actually think, and you're going to think me weird for it, but because there's one shot where there's this light coming into the house, and there's another shot of the girl tied to the bed,
Aliens?
and there's like metal on her head. I think it's aliens.
I don't even remember any of this. Did I watch the same freaking trailer?
Yes. There is a shot where he wakes up and there's light coming into the room that's moving.
Oh.
And then there's another shot of her tied to the bed and there's like this metal thing on her head. There was one shot of an umbilical cord. I don't know where
I don't remember that.
Yeah, or there's this thing laying on the floor and
I
you
think
see
I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one little quick shot of it. I'm like,
I must have
what
looked
the hell
away
was
at
that?
this part.
But yeah, again, I included this just because it was really out there and you don't really know what's going on. But it was just the
Very
idea.
confusing.
Yeah.
But it was just the idea of, this could basically be an entire film about the tree scene from The Evil Dead. And that, actually, I'd probably laugh at and probably would want to watch, because how would you make that entire scene into one film? You know?
Somehow
The woods are coming alive.
It's actually the setup for the Evil Dead TV show.
Oh, nice. That would be intriguing. That'd be cool.
I was gonna say I think I like that trailer. It so far at least it had enough to get me interested.
Right.
In the movie.
It didn't reveal a whole lot. It
It
didn't come out and immediately say it's aliens, or it didn't come out and immediately say it's the woods. You know.
Right.
It leaves you guessing.
Right.
Exactly.
And I think it's due out fairly soon, so I don't think we're going to really get any other trailers for it.
Yeah.
So they're doing this well. They're leaving it very open and mysterious, so we'll see what happens. And next film up on our list is The Expendables 3.
Welcome to the 21st century. I could do that.
Want to slip on a dress and give it a shot?
This is it? This is your team?
Short notice.
Yeah, very short.
Boo!
Why?
I could barely watch it part of the first movie, and then they made 2 more.
So what?
But God, it's awful.
Look, I'm not apologizing for The Expendables, all right? I've seen the first one. I admit
awful.
it's not a good film, but
And
I had
you're
an okay
excited
time
for
with
3.
it. If I'm gonna go with massive explosions and just dumb stupid humor, I'm gonna go with this over something that Michael Bay makes. You know, I'm okay with this because it's just pure nostalgia with these great action heroes all getting together for one film.
Yeah.
And if you watch it
no
as
problem
that,
with the cast.
what's that?
I have no problem with the cast. I have a problem with the premise of the whole stupid movie.
Okay. Well, I understand, like, the story and the plot can be pretty terrible at times, but I can kind of forgive that.
Like,
and I'm not the kind of guy who usually does that.
You don't forgive that, though.
I don't.
Wait. Green Lantern. You liked that movie, didn't you?
I liked Ryan Reynolds in that movie.
We talked about this the other week.
Yeah.
I liked Ryan Reynolds in
And
that
I
movie.
think it's the same concept. Like, I like all the actors in this movie, and I'm excited for it because of that. Like,
You know what? I gotta stop. Karen, you get a fist bump for that one. I'm sorry.
Hey, I didn't say Green Lantern was a good movie. I just said
I don't
like
think
Ryan Reynolds.
I don't think the
'cause it was
Expendables
mostly
necessarily
naked.
are good movies.
No.
But as Mike said, it's like, it's kind of the nostalgia and just, as an action fan, you just kind of want to see things
Right.
beat up and
It's just
blown up.
saying, hey, how many classic actors can we get together for one smorgasbord of fuck yeah? You know? And that's what they did with the second one. They got in Chuck Norris, and they got in Jean-Claude Van Damme, and they got a few others who, again, aren't coming back for this, but they got even more people. And just to name off a few, they're introducing Harrison Ford, Wesley Snipes, Antonio Banderas, Mel Gibson, and for some reason, Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Why? We don't know, but fuck you, Kelsey Grammer.
That's why.
Yeah. Now, if he came in as Beast, that'd be fucking badass. But I do have to say, in this trailer, I love the beginning, if you notice what's going on. So it's this prison train that Wesley Snipes is riding on, and the group comes in, the Expendables come in to break him out. So think about this. They delayed the shooting of this film until Wesley Snipes got out of jail. So think about what they're doing in this movie. The opening scene, apparently, is them breaking Wesley Snipes out of jail. I fucking love that. That is so fucking funny. It's like they've been waiting so long for Wesley Snipes to get out of jail just so they can make Expendables 3. And sure enough, that's their opening scene. Them breaking him out of jail. Fucking yes. That's all I gotta say. Now, that being said, I like the cast they're putting together with this. I don't know how much Harrison Ford's going to be in it. It looks like Antonio Banderas is actually doing quite a lot. Same with Wesley Snipes. Mel Gibson is a star character.
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy. Apparently, he helped form the Expendables at some point.
Yeah.
And now he's the main antagonist. He kidnaps a few of the younger members of the team, and now the other Expendables have to get him back. Now, again, the younger people, a couple of them are MMA fighters. One of them is a boxer. I don't know them offhand, but they're famous in their own way.
Yeah.
They got people who people would know to play these smaller parts. Yeah. Was Jessica Biel in any of them? I forget. No, she was in the A-Team. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. For some reason, I thought she was in one of the Expendables, but I don't know many of the female cast members who are in these films.
No.
I mean, is there anyone notable?
I don't think, not that I know of.
No. I thought it'd be cool, bring in, just say fuck it, bring in Sigourney Weaver, bring in
that would be awesome.
Bring in Julianne Moore, just bring in like a lot of classic, female actresses who can just beat the shit out of people.
Awesome.
And of course, you would want Sandra Bullock in there. I know.
Well, I mean, she's not
She's
a very
armed and fabulous.
Yes, she is. She's not a classically action.
Nice. Got her to do it. Don't edit that out.
Oh my goodness.
No, but I'm saying you could do that.
You could.
You could, because Sigourney Weaver is.
I can just imagine if Sandra Bullock was in this movie. Oh my god.
Sigourney Weaver isn't outside a cameo. I mean, I'm sorry, spoilers, but she had a cameo in Cabin in the Woods. She had a cameo in Paul. She can have a cameo. I think that's fine. So you know what? Bring in Sigourney Weaver for a little bit.
Who was in Red? Helen Mirren was in
Red.
Red. Okay.
Right.
She's good, too.
You could bring her in.
She's pretty badass.
I mean, even recently, you've had actresses, and I don't really like them, but Michelle Rodriguez is in a lot of action films.
I love Michelle Rodriguez. I don't know why. I just love her.
And you could bring her in. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of really good male cast members in there. You could have a little bit of a balance, but
they should just make a female's version of this, and I would watch it.
What would you call that? What would you call the female Expendables?
I have no idea.
We have to think
I
of a
did not.
name for
Yeah,
that.
we'll come back next week.
Expendables.
That's pretty.
Rolling tonight.
That's pretty good. I like that.
No, if since everybody couldn't see what I did the motion for like growing for a pregnant woman.
Yeah, the Expendables.
Babies expand the belly.
And then all the women are pregnant and they're all still kicking ass.
Wow.
Pregnant.
Pregnant mama.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm excited for it. I think the trailer had me pumped.
Yeah.
The Eminem Berserk song playing in the background. It got me jacked up. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to see this.
That's what I wanted to say about 50 Shades of Grey. I liked the remix version of Beyonce's song.
Oh,
that was
Crazy in Love. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That was good.
And is that her singing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a male voice too.
Oh, is there?
I'm not sure. I could have made that up just now. But
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
It sounded like she was singing it at a minimum.
yeah, right.
But I love the song playing in this. Not the intro song, which is the bridge over the River Kwai whistling, which is way out of tune. Don't get me started on that shit. But
that's okay. They're action hero stars. They're not musical stars.
I know. But the Eminem Berserk song playing with all the action going on, I fucking loved that. I'm like, yeah, this gets me jacked up. I want to see this. Yeah. Hopefully it's not all the good action scenes from the movie.
Which was kind of sad because that's how I felt for the first one.
Right.
And then it let me down.
Right.
So I was sad and didn't see the second one. So this one better kick ass.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and hopefully seeing the second one isn't a prerequisite. Hopefully we can go into this and understand
I think it's on Netflix.
Is the second one on Netflix?
I think it might
we may have to check it out. As much as I kind of don't want to, I think
I might have to watch it. I know.
So, moving on to the next one, which is a highly requested trailer that people want us to talk about, which is Dear White People.
But I don't see what the point is in blaming white folks for everything.
I really don't see the issue. Never ran into any lynch mob.
It'd be good to elect someone like you as school president.
Someone else is running.
Together, we can bring black back to Winchester.
Who does Sam think she is?
This like Spike Lee and Oprah had some sort of pissed off baby.
Yeah.
I liked the trailer a lot. It was really interesting, and I'm excited to see it.
Okay. Oh, and Allison drops her phone.
It's all right. It's durable. It's not one of them damn smartphones.
And you drop it again just to prove a point.
And my phone's not broken. Mm-hmm.
So, I mentioned this to Karen on the way here. I don't know how much I can say about this trailer. I really mean that. I don't know how much I can comment. I know we this is an open podcast. And you can say whatever you want. How fucking Paul says whatever the fuck he wants all the time. But
I'm sad he's not here for this.
yeah, I'm really sad as well.
Are we really sad that he's not
No, probably not.
That's true.
I know he really liked this trailer, but I have a feeling he would be extremely racist.
I'm not sure how he would go with it.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Let's not find out.
Let's not find out. He's gonna walk in. By the way,
just came back just for this, guys.
We were discussing this, and I don't know how much I can say about this because the movie, again, while it's self-described a satirical comedic drama, it's basically saying, as a white male, you have to shut the fuck up.
No, that's not what the movie is saying. Do you misinterpret everything that okay, let's start that again. Let's start that again. No, I don't think that's what the movie is saying. I think all it is, it's opening a conversation to let people understand what racism actually means, what it looks like, and at the same time, kind of looking at it from different perspectives, kind of looking at it from different communities. I mean, particularly the Black community, the African American community, and just, exploring what it means, what racism means.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Because in the very beginning of this trailer, when she's saying all of her stuff, which is kind of funny in parts, ladies, if you're a white woman and you're dating a black man, that is a form of racism. That actually kind of makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But then I forget the actor's name again, who's in all the Allstate commercials and was on.
He's the guy who plays David Palmer in 24.
Right, and he was also in a CBS show about CIA agents who are trying to live normal lives or something like that. But anyway,
like, hey, it's the Allstate guy.
Yeah, it's call me the Allstate guy.
I was waiting for him to say,
"Are you in good hands?"
Good hands.
But he says to the girl running this radio show, this is extremely racist, and she said, "No, black people cannot be racist." Right. To which I'm saying, okay, is this satirical or is she telling the truth? What are we saying here?
Okay, because there are so many definitions of what racism can be, and one of them is the idea that she put out, and that's the idea of systematic racism, where it's. I do apologize if we have any academics out there. I'm not very particularly well versed in the subject.
It's okay.
But it's the idea where it's institutionalized. Racism is institutionalized and systematic, and it's not necessarily about the individual, and that there is a power differential between those who are racist and those who are not. Because the thing is, for a person not in power to criticize someone who is in power, that is not necessarily racism in the same way as someone who is keeping another person not and not allowing to be equal, not allowing them to be equal.
And I understand that. But me saying this movie is a satirical comedic drama, is this supposed to be the satirical part, or is this supposed to be serious? We don't know.
Well, I think it's part of both, because satire in and of itself is a comedic take on social commentary. It is social commentary through humor. That's what it is.
Right.
And so it, and most humor is based on some kind of truth. And in that, what you have is they are, telling at least a partial truth, because it's interesting because I've heard it put in this way, where black people or people of or Asian people or people of a minority cannot necessarily be racist. They can be prejudiced, they can be bigoted, but they can't be racist, because racism in of itself is an institution. It's kind of right, it's the way that you kind of keep people from achieving the same equality, having the same opportunities as as a group, not individuals. We don't, we're not talking about it as on an individual level, where it's like me and you, and I'm being racist towards you or something like that. It's about how the system kind of controls opportunities and disadvantages certain groups over others.
Okay, so what we're saying is that this girl, when she says this, is making a truthful statement, even though she is being prejudiced.
Yeah.
So she's not being racist; she's being prejudiced.
That is one way of looking at it. Again, I'm not the leading scholar in racial studies or anything like that, but that is definitely one way that I have seen it portrayed, and I've seen it defined, where people of color and, minorities, it doesn't have to be people of color, it could be, of sexual orientation or anything like that, people who are not in power necessarily can have those feelings and can discriminate and can be prejudiced and can be bigoted, but that doesn't necessarily mean the same things as when it goes the other way.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sorry about
And
that.
it's okay. So, that all being said, there are some pretty funny moments in this trailer.
Yes.
I will say that. The whole sequence of Mulatto, I was laughing my ass off the first time I saw it. It's like almost the whole sequence in Clerks 2, like I'm taking it back. It's like, you can't say mulatto. Mulatto. I'm pretty sure that's not a term that people like to use anymore, right? You have to say mixed or biracial. You can't say mulatto. Like, it's somehow negative. But
I don't think I've ever actually heard it used before. I knew what he meant by it, but I didn't.
Yeah, I've never heard it.
Well, see, I believe mulatto was originally, it was considered an insult because it was a mixing of Spanish conquistadors with natives in Mexico. And that it was considered an insult because it was basically the Spaniards impregnating, like, the lower class. It was kind of like them taking advantage of others.
Right.
I could be completely wrong. It could be another name for that, but I'm pretty sure that's what a mulatto originally was.
So it's somewhat of a mixed race.
It was somewhat of a mixed race, but originally applied to that.
Right. Okay. Which is interesting because I didn't know what the term fully meant, so that actually gives it a completely different perspective from having a girl of mixed race, being the person who's behind the radio station,
right.
or the radio show of Dear White People.
Right.
And it's interesting because I think she does make some interesting points where it's like, what if we did something like Dear Black People? Well, that's Fox News. Like, and
that made me laugh. I was like, yeah, that's kind of true.
and the thing is that's the draw of something like this. Like, and that's where the idea of power and institutionalized racism and things like that, systematic racism, that comes in, right? Like, because it's actually so prevalent in other aspects that it's the norm. It's the dominant kind of thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you don't necessarily question it. So a movie like this makes you question it.
Right.
But yeah, the funny part I thought the most true/funny part was like, when the politician or whoever, just like when he talks about
he's talking to the Allstate guy.
The Allstate guy.
He's like, I'm pretty sure racism is dead.
Doesn't exist in this country anymore. Yeah. The only people who are still talking about it are Mexicans. and it's oh gosh, like face palm. But that's the kind of thing that it's powerful. It's that satire that we were talking about.
And one other thing, there's a teaser for this, which I should have linked with this, but there's a teaser where this girl goes to a movie and she's talking about black cinema and how there's so much stuff, like there's Tyler Perry and the Wayans brothers films, which are
it's the group of them. There's like 10 people talking to the box office guy, right?
Right.
That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah, and it's they openly hate Tyler Perry films, which I think is another thing this film is trying to say. Let's get off these stereotypes. Let's talk about these problems. Yeah. Let's not just say, "Oh, go to church," which is in and of itself isn't a bad thing to say, but that's not just the solution. Yeah. If something's going to be fixed, it's not just going to be, "Oh, go to church."
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's good. It opens a discussion, kind of, and have people start to see these problems. And as you said, it's not just the stereotypes, because people can't be put into pigeonholes. People aren't stereotypes, but problems still occur in different communities. And I think that this type of film will open the doors, hopefully, to other, kind of other commentary, on social issues, close to home. And I think that's a good thing.
Right.
So.
Right. Moving on to our final trailer for the night, which is The Hobbit: Battle of the Five Armies.
Mist and shadow, cloud and shade.
Will you have peace or war?
All shall fade.
I will have war.
All shall
Enter the fangirl. So, yes, this trailer looks amazing. And again, it's just a teaser right now. Not a whole lot of plot points revealed. I mean, we know what the plot basically is going to be. But yes, Karen.
But Billy Boyd! But Billy Boyd! I'm sorry, but Billy Boyd!
Yes, this trailer has a phenomenal song from Return of the King, which was performed by Billy Boyd, which I think...
Who is Pippin.
Yeah, which is Pippin. And I forget the name of the song. I think it was Mist and Shadow was the name of the song. I could be really wrong. Or I don't know the name of the song. But anyway, Karen will look it up for us real quick. The song playing in the back of this trailer makes the mood. Mm-hmm. It makes it just so haunting and eerie. And you're watching it, all juxtaposed to all this war and all this death. And it makes me so excited for this film. I know a lot of people were really disappointed with the last film, the one, The Desolation of Smaug. A lot of people were disappointed by that. I didn't hate it. I just kind of thought it was okay. I didn't think it was good as An Unexpected Journey. And of the 5 films so far by Peter Jackson in this canon, I think it is the worst. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad film. I just think it was just kind of blah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they're trying to stretch out the one book way
absolutely,
too long. Yeah,
absolutely.
Is it true? Isn't the last part? Is it 3 parts or?
It's 3 parts.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And sorry, by the way, the song is called just "The Steward of Gondor."
The Steward of Gondor. Oh, okay, fair enough. Which it's the original. The song is actually a poem, which was from The Lord of the Rings, which they adapted. Someone actually, I think it was Billy Boyd, actually wrote the tune and the melody for it.
I love Billy Boyd.
I know he is I love him as an actor.
I actually, when the third, I can't remember which movie came out, I actually wrote to him.
Aww.
and I got a signed picture back and everything.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
I'm super excited. I love Billy Boyd so much. Anyway.
Fangirl.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's like the epitome of fangirl right there.
Yeah. So, in this trailer, of course, we see Bilbo, who has apparently left Erebor, or the kingdom under the mountain. And what has now happened is that the armies are gathering. Now, the 5 armies, I believe, were the Dwarven army, the Elven army, and then you have a small army of men, which is from the city of Dale, which was where they left.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 goblin armies. You have the goblin army, and then there's a more of an orc army that comes in as well. Mm-hmm. And they have a massive battle at the gates of Erebor. I don't know if they're touching on any other points in this trailer. They really don't. It's the whole idea of the Arkenstone, which is what Bilbo went in there for. Mm-hmm. No spoilers here. Hopefully you've read the book. But in the story, Bilbo actually gets the Arkenstone. He hides the Arkenstone from Thorin because he feels that Thorin has become way too, obsessed about this thing, far too greedy. Like, this basically is just the end-all, be-all, greatest thing, and is going to lead his people to death. Right. So he hides the Arkenstone from him, and in fact, it is one of the leading contributors to this war. And as you see in the trailer, Bard, who is the guy who lets loose the arrow in Dale, says to him, "Would you have peace or war?" And Thorin says in that almost a demonic voice, "I will have war," which he sounds like Smaug in that moment. He gets like this really demonic voice. I'm like, what the hell? Is he like going insane? What's going on here, But yeah, I am really excited for this. I can only hope that this is the best film in the series. Yeah. Because thus far, again, Unexpected Journey, I liked it, but it was just okay. Last one, not so good. We can only hope that the final film is the best of the 3.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's going to be compared to the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yes.
So,
I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be worse than the original trilogy. Just because the last 2 have not even compared.
Oh, yeah.
But
no doubt.
Hopefully this last film will end the entire series on a high note. Mm-hmm. We can only hope.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we're going to get off of our trailers and into the feature presentations. Now, we have a few coming up, but we're going to just graze over them real quick. The first one being this coming week, Guardians of the Galaxy. And Paul is probably really pissed that he's not here to talk about it. So, every trailer for this has gotten progressively better.
Mm-hmm.
The first teaser, which of course had the More Than a Feeling song in there, or no, it's Hooked on a Feeling. Is that what the song's called?
Hooked on a Feeling.
Yeah, that's what it is. Hooked on a Feeling. Since then, all the trailers have gotten progressively better. I'm still a little confused about Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. I don't like that voice too much. But other than that, everything else looks great. I cannot wait for this film.
I mean, I don't know, because, like, I personally actually don't know anything about any of these characters.
Right.
I mean, but obviously I'm super excited for it anyway.
As am I.
But I think
Chris Pratt has been cracking me up in each trailer. He makes me laugh
Chris
more.
Pratt is just amazing in general, so I don't know if he can do any wrong. But yeah, like, even actually I have seen relatively few of the trailers that have come out for this movie. I didn't want to see anything to spoil myself or anything like that.
It's okay.
So, I mean, I'm still super excited, and I think having the Marvel name attached to it will be part of the draw, though.
Okay.
Like, just simply because, like, you know, I mean, they've come out with such amazing movies for the past couple of years that I would think, because, like, on the flip side, I think if DC came out with something, you know, that's, like, completely unknown, I feel like probably a lot fewer people would want to see it.
The equivalent of this for DC would be like Green Lantern, New Guardians. No one would know who these people are, you know, and it'd be like, okay, it's Green Lanterns, but they're not really. They're all different colors. Who are these people, you know? They wouldn't be able to figure it out. They wouldn't be able to do it right. It would just be, just toss some people into it. They wouldn't be able to figure it out. So, yeah, that's absolutely right. But as far as this goes, yeah, I don't even know really how to word it. It's the kind of idea that is universally accepted that, yeah, this is kind of a lot of the tropes of space opera and, you know, the five renegades coming together. And if you just get by on that without knowing it's Marvel, you can still have a good time with it. Yeah. So moving on from that, we've got Get On Up.
Right.
Now we
On up. You have to sing it.
Get on up with that thing. Finally feel better.
Oh, God.
Maybe you
shake it. Say it now.
You should not have said that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I said I take it back. I take it back. Rein it in.
Anyway, so we just talked about this last week, and again, we're still looking forward to it. Haven't seen really any other trailers, seen a couple TV spots, but you know, it's still looking good. I haven't really revealed much else other than a few of the lines of dialogue, which were, you know, plugged by his mother. Basically said, you know, everyone's going to know your name, and no other cast members have been revealed. It's just, yeah, it still looks good. It just looks like a good biopic, you know? So moving on from that, we've got something which we didn't actually ever talk about, which is Into the Storm. Now, has anyone ever seen the trailers for this?
Yeah,
I did.
Okay.
It has Laurie from Walking Dead.
Right.
In it.
I don't watch.
And I want to see Into the Storm because, again, I'm a weather nerd. I love anything that's weather phenomenon. Now, I still apologize for Twister. I know Twister is a pretty bad film.
But it's fun.
But it's fun.
fun.
Especially
I like it.
because they're throwing out so much jargon that I get, and some of it that's just bullshit, and I pointed out, like, no, that doesn't exist, you asshole.
Cow.
Nah.
Another cow.
No,
I think it's the same one.
cow. When I saw this trailer, I actually thought it was a reboot of Twister at first.
And you could consider it that, you know, but I don't know what, this is obviously tornadoes, but at one point, this tornado was in an airport, and it's lifting up planes. It's like, holy fuck.
First I thought it was like water spouts.
And again, it's a shame that it's coming out the same weekend as something like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's probably just going to get shoved to the side. But this looks like kind of a found footage film as well. Like, there's a little bit of that in there. It's kind of hard to tell.
I don't think so.
But there's a lot of
like footage of like planes flying into it and they're like being blown backwards.
right. So
I don't think you could do found footage of that.
you know, just saying. There's a lot of clips from right on the ground, like right in the middle of the action. It looks like there's someone moving the camera with it. So it's hard to tell. Well, we will see. I definitely want to see this. So the final film on our list for future presentations is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, is that coming out already?
Teenage Mutant
Yep.
Ninja Turtles. Turtle and a half shell.
Turtle power. Didn't we talk about this already enough?
We've talked about it a lot
I
this
feel like we're beating a
podcast.
dead
Yeah,
horse.
we are.
Yeah.
Well, this film is pretty much a dead
Or a
horse.
dead turtle.
Oh no.
Brum-ching.
Look, what more can we say about this movie? You know, we
It's
want it to
coming
be
out.
good. Yeah, it's coming out. Yeah, that's all we can say. It's coming
Sorry,
out.
it's coming out.
Save your
Soon.
money.
It's
Go on discount days.
yeah, go on an early bird or a discount day. Yeah, I mean, we all hope it's good. Maybe this one will be the exception to the rule.
Dress up as an old person and get the senior
Yeah,
citizen
that too.
discount.
Yeah. Do that. You get all the old lines on you. Yeah, that'll work. Or chop yourself off with the kneecaps and go in as a kid. You know.
I don't think. Why are we thinking about going through so much trouble to see this movie?
So we don't have to pay.
So we don't have to
Save yourself money.
So we don't have to give Michael Bay more money. That's
Then
why.
just don't go see it until it comes out later on Netflix or something.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's logical, Karen.
Instead of hurting yourself for this movie.
You know there is no logic in this podcast.
Logic is kicked out.
But anyway, that's going to end our podcast for tonight. We have covered quite a lot, and this is easily our longest podcast ever. But you know what?
5 hours.
Yeah,
later.
it's the anniversary. What are we gonna
You
do?
thought
You
it
know?
took 12 takes to do the twin thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? I want to thank everyone who's tuned in over the last year, even if you've been for us for one episode or for, I think this has actually been 20 or 21 threading and dreadings there's been so far. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been great having you with us, you know, and I know Paul likes to make fun of the fact that there aren't many of you, but for those of you who have stuck with us, thank you. We appreciate every single one of you. You contribute more than you know. Your questions were all great, and we can't thank you enough. So hopefully you'll continue to stay with us for another year, another 2 years. Hopefully we can keep entertaining you through this podcast. And you know what?
Entertained? I'm sorry.
Are you not entertained? Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
And with any luck, you know what? We'll do more questions more often. You know, maybe we won't do them every podcast. Maybe we'll do them like every other month or so.
Yeah.
We'll do some questions, you know, just so we can keep it fresh. And as I always say, you know, thank you for listening to us on Podomatic, on YouTube, or on Facebook, wherever you may be listening to us. Check us out on our other platforms if you want to, or like us on Facebook. We're always available on there, always going to be willing to answer your questions on there if you have them. So I want to thank the 3-Star Sapphire for coming by.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I want to thank the Fangor Extraordinaire for coming by.
Thank you, fans
Aw.
of us. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Yay!
I want to thank the Goddess of Gore for coming by.
I got nothing.
Yes. And he's
my
not.
pleasure.
Yeah. Aw. I know he's not here, but I'm sure the Superhuman Aficionado is thankful as well, even
And
though
would like to add something racist.
Yeah, would like to add something
Insert
racist.
racist comment here.
Right.
Think of one up by yourself.
Right.
Put
Use
in
your
comment
imagination.
section.
Yeah.
It won't be half as bad as something Paul actually.
Exactly. Oh, goodness.
And I, once again, am the Projectionist. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a great year, and we'll be back here next year with another anniversary. Have a good night, and take care.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Bye-bye.
Thank you.